so real. Already know exactly how you feel. See the head, not like seeing a steeple. You damn well know they're one of the people. Nobody breaks us, 'cause nobody made us, and no one can take this 'cause we got their fix. We are the people, we are the people, we are the people. Don't mess with this.
Yeah, baby, it is Wednesday. Patrick and the people, we are live. What is going on, everybody?
What's up, man?
Yeah, got Rich Rockwell in the house and Mitchell over here in the house. Mitchell Rudder, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on, man?
How you doing?
Oh, a long drive this morning.
Did you? Where'd you come from, Mitchell?
Russellville.
Las Vegas.
Yeah,
Okay,
over
Las Vegas. I've been there more than once in my life.
Pretty good spot.
Yeah. You like it up there?
Yeah, man, I'm originally from Hector, so I'm a little used to a little slower pace. But,
Yeah.
Russellville's not too bad.
Yeah, no, it's pretty slow there.
Yeah.
Based on my experience, anyway. You can get across the entire city in about 3.5 minutes, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
Yeah,
Pretty quick.
pretty fast, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, welcome, man. I'm glad that you're here today, man.
man,
Excited to talk to you.
Yeah, I actually got something I brought for you real quick.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is a surprise. I don't know what this is. This could be a gun. I don't. Okay, no. All right.
Anyway,
It's like I
man,
could be dying right now.
I make these,
Oh, a cigar box guitar.
It absolutely is, man. I thought it'd be cool. It's more of
See that.
it's more of a nostalgia thing. I had to use a kid's guitar neck on it, but I was itching to build another one.
Oh,
And,
man, that's cool as hell, man.
yeah, it probably needs tuned up, man.
Hell, yeah. Look at that. Yo.
Oh, yeah, man.
Look at that. This man made this. Look at that.
Yeah, I
Now,
just
that's dope as hell.
it seemed fitting, man.
It is fitting, man. I play like Eddie Van Halen. And by that, I mean I don't.
Man, real small there on the inside. It's actually fully operational. You can open that back hatch up.
Oh, yeah?
It
Put your weed in it.
I,
Change the sound, though, if you pack it.
I signed it on the lip to you.
Man, that is awesome right there. That is dope as hell, man.
Cool, man.
No, for real, Mitchell, that is unexpected, and that's one of the dopest things I think anybody ever gave me.
Yeah, man, I'll
that's
tell
cool
you,
as hell.
cool story to that, man. My boss there at Sorrell's Body Shop in Russellville,
Yeah.
he likes to chew on a cigar.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily know that he even smokes the dadgum thing, but, man, he likes to chew on a cigar. Man, he gives, every once in a while at Christmas things, we'll pass that around. Whoever guesses how much money's in it, boy, and it'll be heavy,
Yeah.
gets to win it, and they get the cigar box, and hell, old boy didn't want it. And I was like, dude, let me get that. And I was like,
That's cool,
gotta-
man.
gotta
That's cool.
cleanse
So,
it.
have you been building guitars for a while now?
Yeah, man. I used to take the little kids' guitars, like the first acts, if they were wrecked or something like that, man, and I'd save what I could off of them, and then I'd rebuild them and do like a cool design. Like I done a Day of the Dead skull. I flipped one around, and anyway, I would give them out to the kids. When I was in my addiction, man, you pass through them families, man, that the parents care more about the drugs than they do the kids, So I'd give them out as I'd come across a deserving kid that showed
Yeah.
like an interest in it, and that's so I've just been about 10 years I've been building them.
That's cool, man. That's great. So you're just kind of giving back here and there.
Yeah, when
That's
I can,
awesome.
yeah.
That's great,
Yeah.
man. That's cool, man. Good for you. Good for you, man. That's a great way to keep your mind focused on good and positive energy, man.
Yeah, I'll have to get Rich's boy one made up.
Yeah, man. He'd
Yeah,
love that.
we've got an interview we'll air tomorrow with a guy named Chuck McConnell, and you want to talk about overcoming addiction and obstacles and things. Man, what a story this guy has.
Yeah.
And he's originally from Hot Springs, actually.
Oh, wow.
And he's in Florida now, but normally if I interview somebody, it might be, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
This one went about 40 minutes, I think.
Yeah, man.
It was a real powerful. Like I couldn't end the interview. I mean, I was just mesmerized by the obstacles that he'd overcome, what he's done, and man, what a story.
Want to hear
So,
more?
oh yeah, no, this guy. Probably we could have broke that story down into about 3 2-hour movie. It could have been Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean? It was a lot.
I honestly got to say about there myself. I'm
Yeah.
6 years out of the trenches, and
That's awesome, man. Well, we'll definitely talk about that here in a little bit for sure. I want to do that. I want to break that down. I want to hear about it. your journey, whatever you want to share, and then we'll get into that.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Before you get into that news, huge news just dropped in the comments.
Oh.
Luke Shoemaker says world premiere of New Vantage Ruins happening July 10th before it drops everywhere July 11th.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
awesome.
That's big time news right there. Big time news. Yeah, get your emotional support horses out. All right, man. Let's get into a little bit of news that you can use, see if there's anything here that we even really care about. I don't know if there is.
Good
Maybe.
morning, everybody. Everybody's saying good morning.
What up, everybody? What up? What up? President Trump warning against the protesters at Saturday's military parade in D.C. Said any demonstrations will be met with very big force. He added that he hadn't heard about any possible protests being planned. It's to honor the Army's 250th birthday, expected to draw hundreds of thousands of attendees. It's also apparently his birthday. So he'll be, 950? I don't know. I know he'll probably be, 77, 78, something like that. 23andMe is being sued by at least 26 states.
I saw that.
The genealogy company filed for bankruptcy. The lawsuit seeks to stop the company from auctioning off private genetic data of its 15 million customers. The lawsuit argues DNA data, health-related traits, and medical records are too sensitive to be sold without individual consent. Customers at 23andMe are being told to delete their genetic information that's stored by the company. Do you really think you're going to delete it? You think they didn't back that up? I backed up to my phone.
Wasn't that the one that had the data breach a couple of years ago and got everybody? Yeah. So it already happened once. You really think you deleting it is going to make a difference?
I could understand that a little more if we had superhuman genetics and there was a secret to it, but we're basically all the same strands, with different mixtures. So
Well,
what are they going to make out of it? I'll take a clone.
No, man, I don't want another one of me running around. No,
I mean just for harvesting.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen that movie. It's called The Island. Yeah, I've seen that movie. No, I don't need that either. I don't need that guy showing up at my house going, "Man, what's going on?" I'm like, "No, you're gonna die."
Every time they talk about clones, I think about that one movie, Duplicity.
Oh,
where
yeah.
he cloned himself,
Yeah.
and then by the 9th clone, it came out, pretty. I don't know if it's okay to say the word anymore.
Well, I mean, technically, that's what it would be, right?
Yeah.
Retarded.
Retarded.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to, remember to be PC. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, it's not like you went, "You're retarded."
I'm the retarded clone.
That may be true. That may actually be true. I haven't told everyone I adopted him to. Anyway. All right. Karen Reed said she won't testify in her murder retrial in Massachusetts. She made comments to reporters yesterday. A biochemist, the defense's last witness, took the stand and will resume testimony this morning. The defense working to prove that Reed's being framed by police for the death of John O'Keefe. She's accused of hitting her Boston cop boyfriend with her SUV and leaving him to die in a snowstorm back in 2022. And I'm going to be honest, just based on what I've seen, I'm not sure they haven't planted enough seeds of doubt to get her off. I mean, she may not be convicted. They've had some. The defense has done a good job.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she didn't do it. I'm just saying they've done a good job. All right. Let's see what else is going on here. Lawyers for R. Kelly says their client's life is in danger behind bars. The singer's legal team said they uncovered evidence of government wrongdoing by prosecutors in Chicago and New York. They plan to file an emergency motion in court. They're seeking his immediate release. The filing claims that the three officials with the Bureau of Prisons plotted to have R. Kelly killed by a fellow inmate.
Oh.
The inmate began the process, but then opted to tell Kelly about it instead. The entertainer is serving a 30-year sentence for sexual misconduct. I don't know. That would be sensational.
Right.
If you had, if you can prove, you better be able to prove that shit. Otherwise, the next 29 years are going to be real bad for you, Kels. Yeah. You better be able to prove it.
Right.
He's been in there a while now, ain't he?
Yeah, he's been in there a few years, yeah. Capsules packed with freeze-dried poop becoming a hot treatment from everything from advanced cancer to liver disease.
What?
Yeah, fecal transplants. Now the focus of UK researchers who are testing whether freeze-dried poop from healthy donors can knock out antibiotic-resistant bacteria hiding in patients' guts. Some patients in the group were given the crapsules. I apologize to everyone for that. I want you to know.
No button on that.
They ended up having healthier gut bacteria. The scientists say poop pills could end up replacing antibiotics to treat a lot of health issues.
Well,
So next computer, well, let me just get it right off the tap. I mean,
right.
never mind. I didn't say that. I apologize.
I wonder
for
if
that.
it all poofs up all starchy like the candies.
I don't know, man. I feel like you'd have real bad breath. And that's all I think about, Josh Hawley from Missouri teamed up with Senator Peter
Breath
Welch.
Smells like shit.
Yeah, from Vermont to pitch a
Had
bill.
to take my crapsules.
Do a crapsule stuff. They're pitching a bill that would double the federal minimum wage. The bill would increase the minimum wage from $7.25 to $15 an hour starting January 2026. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. If you still got minimum wage at $7.25, that's pretty marginal there. You're not going to do a lot with that. Trump announces that I guess Army bases are going back to old names. So congratulations. Southern Baptist endorsed ban on gay marriage. Yeah, what's new? McDonald's says weight loss drugs are the reason that their numbers have dropped. Yeah, probably so. I mean, hell, everybody's on it, aren't they? The GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic could pull 28 million annual customer visits from McDonald's and shave about 500 million in revenue. Yeah, no, I mean, look, people who use that, man, they don't even like food anymore. Like, nah, I don't want it.
I wonder if it's similar to the old like Adipex. My mom.
Hell no, no, it's not. That's just speed, man.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
No, you were too busy to eat then.
Yeah.
This actually makes you not want to eat. It's just the thought of food even.
So like it doesn't like alter your.
No, it does not. Well, it doesn't alter. It's not a mind altering or speed or anything like that. It's just an inhibitor that binds to something. I don't know the math of it, but SpaceX postponed to today. Well, SpaceX called off today's planned launch of the Axiom Mission 4 after engineers found a liquid oxygen leak in the Falcon 9. The private flight set to lift off from Kennedy Space Center and take 4 astronauts to the space station will be rescheduled once repairs are finished. Yeah, that's good.
Good to
They
know,
caught
man.
it.
Yeah.
Good that they caught it.
Right.
We've seen what happens when they don't. It's not good. Clanton, Alabama. 11-year-old Caleb McKee was honored for rescuing his elderly neighbor after she became trapped under her car. Huh. Oh. He called 911 and stayed with her until emergency crews showed up to free her. Well, hold on. Let me see, first of all, if it tells us. He was playing in his yard when he heard his 88-year-old neighbor, Miss Wright, yelling for help. She had had a bad accident, become trapped under her own car. He said, I ran over and asked if she was okay. Well, what do you think she's under the car? She's yelling. No, she's not okay, man. She said she needed the car off her legs. The vehicle had rolled over her legs, pinning her to the ground. So I'm guessing maybe she got out,
left it in,
and left it in gear, or left it in neutral one, and it must have rolled over her before she could get out of the way. Maybe she was getting groceries out, or
something.
she's going to walk in the garage.
Yeah.
But
well,
whatever
good
it
for
was.
him, man.
Yeah, no,
I'm glad that he was there. Apparently, what her life alert was malfunctioning.
I don't know, man. I'm not certain.
Sounds like a great commercial for him.
Does sound like a good. I wonder if they call people like that. Hey, I saw your story. Maybe you'd like to use life alert.
Had a car, yeah.
I totally thought you were going in the direction of like the guy picked the car up off her leg,
Oh no, he's 11. No, he's not going to pick anything up.
That'd be cool.
Just the 911.
Dude, if an 11-year-old did that, he'd be like, "Yeah, I'm Superman." Like,
hell, if I did it, I'd feel like Superman. What are you talking about? Canadian retiree David Sirkin. He's an avid lottery player for over 40 years. He's won 4 times, brought in more than $2.5 million. His latest million win from last month follows earlier jackpots of $500,000 and $1 million within the past year, and $250,000 a decade ago. He beat cancer and then won the lottery 3 times in the next year.
jeez.
Yeah, this is the guy you want to hang around.
Right?
His luck is amazing. Like, he's got all my luck.
Yeah, for
Every
real.
bit of it, he took it. Yeah. From Ashes to New announces their new tour. If you're into it, Ashes to New's hitting the road for 28 cities on the New Disease Tour. That starts September 20th in St. Louis, not far from here. Goes through Chicago, Phoenix, Seattle, Boston, Atlanta, and more. It'll end in Fort Lauderdale. Fans will also see bands Magnolia Park, Until I Wake, and Not Enough Space on the bill. Well, that's the name of the band. Pre-sales are already live with the public on sale set for Friday at 10 a.m. local time. Guitarist Matt Brandyberry hints that the group may test drive new songs from an upcoming album they wrote. Yeah, don't do that at the show. Nobody wants to hear. Look, play 3 songs people like, 1 song they don't know. That's the formula. We'll put up with every 4th song, but don't try to dump a bunch of songs on us we don't know because we don't care yet. Scalpers trying to make bank on sold out Sydney Sweeney bath soap. Wow. I mean, really? Those thirsting for soap made from the bathwater of Sydney Sweeney not only got their wish, but the product sold out.
You just couldn't leave enough for anybody else, could you, Patrick?
Yeah, no.
You just had to order it all.
Every bit of it.
Every bit of it.
I got it all stacked up in the house right now. Dr. Squatch's Sydney's bathwater bliss was gobbled up by fans and few opportunists who are now trying to resell it for a profit. Markups of about 20,000%. On eBay, you can see them for as much as $1,600 for a bar. You could pay as little as $10 for a picture of the soap in its package.
For a picture?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Last week, Jonathan Marlowe was chilling with friends in a family-friendly game of disc golf when the most unimaginable thing ever happened. On hole 11 of Myrtle Beach's Splinter City disc golf course, Marlowe looked up and saw an osprey flying above with something in its claws. The bird lost its grip on its lunch, and a hammerhead shark dropped in front of him. It was a baby hammerhead, but yeah, that's pretty weird. Yeah.
And on the opposite spectrum of luck for today,
you're right.
You can either beat cancer and win the lottery or have a shark fall from the sky.
Yeah, no, yeah. That's it, yeah.
Was it Shark Week?
For real?
It is Shark Week, probably, yes.
Sounds like a setup to one of the new Sharknado movies.
It probably was, yeah. Probably is. Huge milestones surpassed by those who do their best to collect invasive pythons from Florida's Everglades. Since 2013, they've been, quote, capturing and humanely killing 20 tons of snakes, 6,300 pounds this past breeding season. For those who need a visual, 40,000 pounds of python would be equivalent to the size of a fire truck or a loaded city bus.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how many, and they still haven't even scratched the surface of how many are out there.
Keep fighting the good fight. You're doing well.
Snake wranglers.
Yeah, that's right. That meant something different when I was in high school. Shanghai engineers just made a whole neighborhood take a slow walk. The Hoani block in the old, in a Chinese district, weighs about 7,500 tons and dates back to the 1920s. Crews slid a steel frame under the brick homes, hooked up 432 remote-controlled hydraulic robots that march the frame about 30 feet a day. They're literally moving a neighborhood.
Dang.
With robots. The crawl moves the block several hundred meters so workers can dig a 3-story underground mall and a parking deck below it.
Dude, they really are living in like 2050.
Man, that's wild. That's
crazy.
So they did a 3D scan. They used AI to map the weak spots and the tight alleys. The walk started May 19th. The block will return once the dig is done. So they move it and then they move it back. That's wild, man.
That's crazy.
That's crazy right there. Oh no, this is special. I wish I'd seen this. Deputies say a man in Woodland, Washington tried a bold swap on Facebook Marketplace, a band machine submachine gun, a silencer, and a motorcycle for an ATV.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jacob Sean Dixon sent the seller a video to prove the gun worked and warned, "Don't tell anyone." The seller called the Cowlitz County Sheriff's Crime Reduction Team. Detectives set up a fake meeting with help from SWAT. When Dixon showed up with the gun, they arrested him on the spot. Yeah, you're on Facebook trying to swap a submachine gun? You're a dumbass.
Today on Dumb Criminals.
Yeah, right?
But still, though, man, like, why'd you have to go tattletale, dude?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, come on. Like,
and he did snitch on him, didn't he?
all right. Like, he told you, he's like, hey, man, don't tell anybody. Like, you're getting a deal for your ATV. I would take that for an ATV.
Yeah.
I mean, why not?
Sounds like a good deal.
Right, that's what I'm
could be a
saying.
good
And you
deal.
just went and was like, oh, thanks, man. I'm going to go tell.
A 21-year-old visitor from Saudi Arabia called 911 after a strip club in Clearwater, Florida said no when he asked for sex in a $300 private room just after 1 a.m. Well, what's the private room for then? Apparently, on Monday, officers reached the Oz Gentlemen's Club and found Sultan Al Natay still on the phone. Staff told police he asked for sex, was turned down, and then claimed they stole his money. Deputies wrote he smelled of booze and slurred his words. He was arrested for abusing the emergency line. That's a minor crime, and later paid $500 and got a flight to Miami. He says, yeah.
Going back, man.
Hold on.
He didn't realize that money he was tossing was, just for show.
All right.
Now, apparently, he thought there was something more, where he's from.
Right. Right.
Jesus.
You all right over there, man?
Hold on a second.
What are you doing?
It's a goddamn emergency. Hold on. I don't know. Go
What's
to
up?
break or something. Hit something. God damn it. It's all test. Oh, there we are.
There you are. There you are. Jeez.
Where was that playing?
It probably wasn't.
I don't know what the hell is going on, man.
Yeah, dude. Destroying the studio, man. Welcome to Wednesday.
No, man. The cord somehow got wrapped in the chair and just started. I don't know what happened there, but all of a sudden he was pulling everything back. Yeah, Mike said it right. Stand back, folks. He's a professional.
All
That's
right.
correct.
By the way,
exactly
what's up,
what it is.
Tiffany? How you doing? Tiffany Fisk joined in.
Oh, what's up,
comments,
Tiffany? How are you?
Mystic Storm. I don't know if you know.
Yeah. That's cool, man. Glad to have you. Let's try to do a little sports here real quick before we actually
you,
take a real break.
destroy the rest of the
before I
studio.
dismantle everything here. The game 3 of the finals is tonight. The Indiana Pacers and the Thunder tied at 1 game each. Even though the Pacers will be in front of their home crowd, the Thunder go into tonight's game a 5-point favorite. And a favorite to win the series. If you're a believer in the underdog Pacers, you can bet on them pretty good rates if you're interested. I mean, you get a good spread on it. But I think that Indiana will get it tonight. If they don't, I think that Thunder runs away with the series. I think if they win tonight, it's over for Indiana. If Indiana wins tonight, it's going 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still think they can do it? I know you've been a
No,
Pacers fan.
I'm a believer in the Pacers.
Yeah?
They're scrappy as hell. They're tough. They play hard. They're both great teams. I was surprised to find out, as young as the Pacers are, that the Oklahoma City Thunder are the youngest team in the NBA. Like the average age of the players on that team is 24.
Okay.
So they are.
They're young. Yeah.
They're young. Yeah, and they're scrappy as hell. They're a great team.
What's up, Mikey G?
According to the NCAA and how they study this, I don't know. I guess looking into social media abuse of players, coaches, and officials from sports, they found that 15% of the abuse that was flagged during March Madness was directed at athletes, but that's better than the 42% last year. I don't know what
Abuse of what?
I don't know, harassment during the March Madness playoffs, I
Like
guess.
you're talking about like people messaging
Yeah,
them or something?
probably,
Oh, I got you.
know,
Like,
if
dude, you sucked. You should have dunked that
yeah,
shit.
yeah. Listen, if you're messaging college sports athletes to tell them they suck, you suck.
Right.
You understand that? You suck.
Yes.
You've made bad decisions in your life. You're probably betting on kids. You understand that? You're giving men money to bet on kids to perform. Think about that for a minute. You're the asshole in the equation. That's all I'm saying. It's not the kids, okay? Stop. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Who would do
that's-
such a thing? That's so dumb,
But
man.
on the other hand, like, as the athletes, like, where do you come up? Man, I'm getting abused on social media. You make $1 million. Just
Oh no, I'm with
turn
you
it
on
off.
that. I mean, I didn't say that they,
Right.
you can't just turn off
I'm
the
just-
comments or whatever.
I mean, I get
Here's an
that, but
idea.
still,
Don't
like,
log
oh,
on.
okay.
Here's an idea. Don't log on.
Right.
Don't even
Right.
go on. Yeah.
Or on the other side, like, if I'm in that position making $1 gazillion to, shoot some hoops or whatever, I'm going to be like, you know what? Say what you want. I'm going to go enjoy my money real quick. Okay?
Yeah, no, I'm just going to say, how much did you make this year?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, suck a dick.
Yeah, send them all back little laughy faces.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. See ya. Sucks to be you. That's what I'd tell them.
Send them all $1.
You send them all the
I mean, that was years ago.
like
Bob
that guy yesterday.
Yeah, man.
Vorpal was talking about Bobby Knight chucked chairs across
Oh,
the court.
Bobby Knight.
People
That's
loved
back
it.
when they didn't care. Well, then it was a little different.
Yeah,
Then
he said people loved
Yeah,
it.
then they were abusing the kids for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And probably beating the hell out of them. All right, we'll be back here in a minute. Here, get some of this in your life because I'm crazy.
In your pocket. In your pocket. In your pocket. Stitch and studded pocket. Pocket. Designer jeans. Hug hip grip. Clean so clean. You a thick stick. What's in your pocket? What is it really? Are we about to rock it? Got that Uncle Baby Billy. Got that uncle. Got that uncle. Got that uncle baby. Got that uncle baby. Got that Uncle Baby Billy. Go on now, nerd. Feel it in you. Go on now, nerd. Go on now. Now. Break down. Bass sounds. Body to body playground. Break down. Bass sounds. Body to body playground. Break down. Bass sounds. Body. What's in your pocket? What is it really? Are we about to rock it? Got that Uncle Baby Billy. Spin it up. Drop it down. Hear the colors. Smell the sound. Smell the sound. Smell. Can you smell the sound? Drop it on down. The smell of Rojo. Can you feel it burning? Activated my mojo. Can you taste the yearning? Taste the glow. Pop the little top, lay it on a reflection, like in a barber shop, but lie in a different direction. Pop the top, pop it, pop the top, pop it, pop the top, pop it, pop it, pop it, pop. We won't ever stop. Your pocket, your pocket, your pocket. Uncle Baby Billy, got that Uncle Baby Billy. I'm just asking for an 8-ball and $2 million. Uncle Baby Billy.
A lot of times you might not hear cool and attorney in the same line, but when I'm talking about Riggin Law, you will, because Kristen Riggin and her crew are just cool people. Going to an attorney can be intimidating. and you feel like you're being talked down to. They're talking in legalese, and it's scary. Not with Kristen. She's going to break it down to you just like I would, sit there and talk to you, kind of work it out and figure it out in the fair and right way. Doesn't matter if it's divorce or custody or if it's elder law. They do a lot of stuff to help out with court situations where you may have a family member who's died and you've got something going into probate. Man, you don't want to argue with your siblings over that. Don't put yourself in that position. That's what Riggin Law does. They'll help you work through the probate and all of that. If you've got a custody issue, even a criminal issue, it doesn't matter. Kristen can help you. And man, they are an amazing group of people. You can give them a call, 249-1289. It's 249-1289. Or just go to rigginlaw.com and tell Kristen we sent you. All right, we have recovered from my foolish.
Have we recovered?
Well, I don't know. Honestly, we're trying to recover. How about
Even
that?
Vorpal said he saw a big cloud of smoke.
Yeah,
come
no,
back through the
that's
door.
what it looked like, wasn't it? Oh my God, I don't know what he just.
What
brought
is
it.
that?
That's amazing. That looks like these are really cool.
Dude, we can't. Can we set it? Yeah.
Yeah, set them up there. Let's see what you got.
What is this?
What do you got
You
here?
bring toys for us to play with today too?
Oh, those are amazing. Now, are these just models? Or are these remote control? What are they?
Man, these are all remote control.
Here, scooch up like. See how I get real close to the mic?
Yeah.
And now help him adjust
Yeah.
that mic up.
There you
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
And just if you lift it up, yeah.
yeah. You can also. There you go.
There we go.
And yeah.
Man, these are all RCs. Basically, this is a crawler. It's fully locked. All four hit the ground. It'll crawl just it's about as steep as it'll go for it.
Really?
Over. That one there is a drifter.
So it's made like for the street to
Yeah, and
to ride on
it
flat
slides
surface.
really good and
Yeah.
pulls really good. And then the one in the floor there is called an X Max. And
That's like that's an
huge.
expensive RC right there. I
Yeah,
mean that one's
yeah.
not cheap. That's the kind they race and stuff.
that's around $1,000, and I've launched that on a backflip as high as the power lines.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
crazy.
plumb
Do you
off
make
the
a lot
house.
of videos with it?
Yeah, we used to. I've actually got that one for sale. I got a boat, man, and figured out that I really like being on the water,
Yeah.
and I kind of got out of the bashing
Well,
ones.
so you want to sell that one?
Yeah, I've
Well,
got
here,
it.
pop, stand up in front, hold it up so everybody can see it. Maybe somebody here will buy
Yeah,
it.
dude, because that thing
that's
is sweet
dope
looking.
as hell. I mean, hold on, look how big this bastard is.
Trust me.
It looks like a Power Wheels nearly.
Yeah, there you go, man.
I mean, if you had a toddler, they could ride that thing. You know?
How fast does that one
I
go?
bet that thing hits 35, 40 to
65 miles.
65 miles an hour.
65 miles
Holy.
an hour.
You know, that's
Oh, wow.
bad.
It
You're
is
good.
definitely Monday on Wednesday.
This is the Mondayest Wednesday ever.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I tell people whenever I do get rid of them. And I took a lot of ridicule, man. And these are my drug money. I told a
Don't
guy.
get tangled up again.
I told a guy, that's still suffering an addiction. I seen the other day was a good friend of mine, and I let him play with one of them real quick. And when he handed the remote back, I said, "Look, man, I want you to know this is my drug money, man. I charge the batteries. I get high on these all the time man. Instead of smoking it up with
Right.
with the vampires." And anyway, so I tell people though I took a lot of ridicule. Oh, you're playing with toys. You're playing with toys. And I look at them and I'm like, look, this toy right here will kill your toddler.
Right?
Yeah, no.
It will kill your small dog. You know what I mean? Wide open, you hit them.
You think it'd get a cat?
Oh yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
All day long.
Hell yeah.
It'll leave a puffball.
You can put a little speaker on it, run it up the road.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's nubbing a leg. If
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
hit a
if you
shit.
get hit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You could take Dad out.
Bro.
This is just taking
Yes.
right off his feet. Boom.
Yeah, after we get done, I brought some batteries for the big one, and
Okay, we'll do a video for damn sure when
Oh,
we get
yeah,
done.
for
Hell
sure.
yeah,
For
we will.
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll rip it.
I might let him run it into Rich. I mean,
Hey.
They said they asked if you could show it again.
Oh yeah.
yeah, he can do that.
They're interested.
While he's doing that, I'll mention Fitz Auto. This is not Fitz Auto, but check them out. Yeah, there it is.
I think it's the cameras right there. Yeah.
There you
yeah,
go.
There you go. Man, that thing is sick looking.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a runner right there.
Right?
Boy. Yeah. Yeah, hey, listen, if you're looking for a vehicle that is not a remote control, you can check out Fitz Auto at fitzauto.com. Check out their inventory online or go in person. 8421 Stagecoach Road in Little Rock. They have every kind of vehicle you can imagine. I know what you're thinking, man, I got bad credit. Yeah, a lot of people do. That's what they specialize in. Check them out. They can help you out, I'm sure. Fitzauto.com. Humanity is on the verge of being replaced by a race of superhuman hybrids with powers only dreamed about in the movies. At least that's what Herbert Sim, he's a millionaire, a tech investor, and he's a futurist. Futurist is a scientist who uses historical events to predict the future.
Okay.
So he has begun pouring his wealth into the study of transhumanism. That's right. You thought becoming a guy or a girl was the limit. You thought that's where we were going to stop? Shit. That was the warm-up act for what we're about to do. Transhumanism, the enhancement of humans through science and technology. He said that a new mutant race will be walking among ordinary humans within the next 5 years.
I mean, they already are. Haven't you ever heard of lizard people?
Yeah. You're not supposed to talk about them, but at that point, he claims the human race will essentially be obsolete as these real-life X-Men make it impossible for regular people to match their abilities. His tech startup, Neurochip.com, has been exploring how to make transhumans a reality, upgrading the mind using a helmet that reads brainwaves. That sounds like some Professor X shit right there. The brainwaves are projected onto a computer, which then reads and turns them into actions. Said it's one of the first steps in upgrading humanity, allowing this new race of mutants to live longer and defeat diseases. He said it's going to help you extend your life for 500 years. I don't want to live. I'm tired. I'm tired. 500 years. What's wrong with you?
For real.
No, I don't want to do anything that long. Would you want to live 500 years, Rich?
No, absolutely not.
Even if you could be
I don't want to
in
live
health.
now. No, I'm kidding.
If you could be in perfect health, would you want to live 500
No.
years?
Yeah, let's go.
No.
You would?
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect health, 500
Yeah.
years? No.
I just, man.
Good retirement, though.
I enjoy just seeing the world unfold. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like Gene Simmons' tongue. You know,
It just keeps coming out.
on.
Yeah, no, it just keeps coming. Yeah, no, I understand that.
Could you imagine us being on a podcast being like 450 years
Yeah.
ago, we were just thinking about.
We're on episode 58,000. It's a big event for us today. You don't look a day over 450,000.
Right.
I know, right?
They'd have to rename what ancient actually is.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, no, then I would be ancient Patrick instead of angry Patrick. I'd probably be like, if you look,
I mean,
if
you're
I
already
live
knocking
500
on that
years,
door.
somehow, yeah, that's true. I'm about to knock on yours. If I lived that long, I would somehow be running the world, and you don't want that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the law of averages. The odds say that if I made it 500 years, that by year 400, I run this place.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want me running anything. You just saw what happened a minute ago, right? You don't want me running anything. Trust me.
We could have bets on it, man.
What do you
How
think
many
about this
revolutions
whole-
in the chair you can make,
Yeah.
you know, trying.
What do you think about this whole idea of transhumanism, or putting chips in and modifying human bodies and things? Do you think this is going to really play out that way?
Oh, for sure.
You do?
For sure, absolutely.
I think it's how the zombie apocalypse starts.
I mean, it's gonna be. Look, the
Yeah.
world is gonna end. Like,
Like the wrong mutation in the human body, man, could be.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but
Oh,
if
for sure.
it's technological versus biological, then if it's you just have to hit an EMP to stop the zombie apocalypse.
I mean,
you know
that's
what
true.
I mean?
That is
so,
true.
I mean, it is different than a biological thing. But
I've always had my plan. If the zombie apocalypse happens, I'm just gonna take a whole bunch of treadmills and put them facing the other way, like outside, so
where
they just get
can't-
stuck.
they
Yeah.
just get stuck trying to get to you.
Exactly. I'll just sit in my house. And
Like you'll
turn 'em
have
on.
the most svelte, thinnest zombies of all.
Exactly.
Like my zombies are in great shape. Come on down to the zombie gym right here. And, I'm 430 years old. This is
But no, I mean, I don't. That would probably be something that would happen, man.
Let me ask this. So, and it's hard to say at where we are now, but let's say that you were pushing, 75, 80.
439.
Let's 75, 80. And they could upgrade you with some technology and get you going, to at least 150. Would you do that?
Man, no.
No. He said, nah.
No, man.
Nah.
It depends on if I had, something that's really big to me is leaving a legacy for my family.
Yeah.
And it would depend on how far along that I had that.
Yeah.
I mean, are you talking like, all right, you're 75,
Yeah.
80, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you're already, that's kind of the golden,
The breaking point,
right.
yeah.
Everything is kind of going south and everything. So are you talking, everything's going to be fine, or just from that point forward, you're going to
No,
be fine?
you'll whatever.
Like, so would you just
whatever-
be essentially 80 years old forever?
No, you may appear that way, but from a physical standpoint, you'll be 20 years old.
Right, I got you. Yeah, still no.
Still no.
No.
Okay.
No. If I was 50, maybe. I
Okay.
feel like 50 would be a good age to, like, stay
Would it?
50
I
forever or
would have
whatever.
liked to have done that.
I mean, it's if I have to, like, really
This
think
guy
about
here.
everything. Yeah, right.
Cocksucker. I'm sorry. That's. Yeah, no, and then just past Patrick's age. That's what.
What's up, Latasha? How you doing?
Good morning to everybody. Good morning. So let's talk here for a minute with Mitchell because he came in today and he kind of has a story behind him that he can share and benefit others with. So you kind of alluded to some of it earlier, Mitchell, that you have you've been down a path.
Oh, yeah.
And you changed your life. You turned it around completely. Is that fair to say?
Oh, yeah.
So first of all, where were you? Were you born here in Arkansas? Are you from here?
Yeah, Russellville. And
Russellville's
then,
where you were born. Okay.
Yeah, pretty well. Spent most of my life there on a 150-acre farm in Hector. With my great grandparents.
Wow.
Super old raising, man. Very limited toys. No toys in the house.
Yeah. No, they would. It's a trip hazard for them. They'll die.
Yeah. Super.
They're your great grandparents. Yeah.
Yeah. Super old style people, man. It was just real slow. And then when I started, well, my grandpa passed away. My grandma couldn't really take care of me, and so I went to live with my mom. And things were a little different there, man. Mom partied. She was one of those 80s material girls, you know what I'm saying? And so I fell in love with the guys up there smoking down and playing guitar, and the drunks hanging out at the parking lots and everything.
Yeah.
Man, I wanted to be just like them, and of course years later I figured out that I finally made it. Anyway, my little
Wasn't exactly what you thought when you got there.
No, man, it was, now looking back, I'm like, oh, man, them guys sucked. And so, I did pretty good. And my little brother passed away when he was 19. I'm 4 years older than him. Mm-hmm. And it seemed like I just, went south from there, really. And I never considered myself having a problem with meth.
That was your thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And, I might would do it, and then not see it again for a year.
Yeah.
And then about 10 years ago, I bumped into a connection. That was just.
Yeah, it's like the waterfall of the supply.
Absolutely, and I was going through a really rough patch. Me and this girl had split up. Man, it was really bad on me. And with welcoming arms was people wanting me to come play my guitar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mitchell, man, come over. We'll get you high, dude. You can play music for us, And,
Yeah.
And I fell into that for 2 years, and just could not get out of it. Didn't want to get out of it, 'cause
Yeah.
it's so welcoming and.
Well, right. I mean, here they are. They're like they love you. You're like the star. We're
Absolutely.
going to give you stuff. I mean, it's
And then on the other hand, I can fix anything, whether it be inside your house or on your vehicle.
which is handy as a crackhead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's super handy. Most of them are doing the opposite. They're tearing everything up. So you're like you're a real superhero there. Yeah.
And then I tell people, like, Mitchell, you never really worked a job, man. How'd you supply yourself? I'm like, well, man, this is kind of the type of face that gets free drugs.
Yeah.
You know, and so I would get there, you know,
I don't know what that means, but I like it. I did not have that face. Clearly, I paid for all my shit, man.
you know, I made my way through I burnt my whole life down, man.
Yeah.
And
It happens, man. I mean, it's sometimes it's a slow fire, but man, once you get into meth, you know, that Sling County Slim Fast or that Yell County Yay, depending on where you're from or whatever. But man, it you'll just start peeling your life apart, man.
Yeah.
You know, to start with whoever you're dating, and usually it ends up with your parents or your guardians getting fleeced and robbed and whatever, telling you to get out.
Yeah, I never was that guy, man.
That's good.
You know, I've never been real bad. You know, when my brother passed away, man, I felt like there's just this big hole in me, and I've always filled it with my friends ever since. You know, so my people mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
But no, I found myself down there in Russellville sleeping in my vehicle, man. This girl had knocked on the window, and man, she was bleeding out her face and everything. And I was like, oh man, you know, so I tried to help her. Come to find out, she'd gotten an altercation with her old man.
Oh.
And there was cops, you know, and they got me, man. I had an empty pipe in my pocket. They put me on the front page of the newspaper, man, looking like Dope Jesus. You know
like Dope Jesus, yeah.
I had a beard down to here, like hair down to here, and
yeah, you fit the MO. Yeah, you fit the prototype.
Yeah, and I remember waking up in there, just like, man, thank you, Lord. Just man, I was able to rest, sleep. It was comfortable. And I knew I was safe, man. And I got out. I entered the drug court program. Well, they sent me to. When I lost my brother, I was in RPF down there already. I'd already got in trouble once in life.
Yeah.
And when I got in trouble this time, they sent me back. And when I got out that time, my mom, my uncle that's real close to me, nobody sent me anything down there. You know, I was fighting them and everything, and I was just like, man, dude, I'd hungry at night. A jar of peanut butter would have went a long damn ways, you know, but no one helped me. When I got out that time, drug court rented me a bicycle. I was riding from Russellville to Dardanelle to go to work at Sonic, and I was making my early morning meetings. I got with a counselor named Mike, man, and he got me to understand that I'd got stuck in what he called child brain.
Yeah.
You know, if anybody's out there listening, I really hope you take heed to this right here, this part, because child brain, man, is like I never got the rite of passages because I left home at 15.
Mm-hmm.
That a parent gives their children, you know, as far as like creating a bank account, learning responsibilities, finances, you know, and becoming an adult, you know, and so I started a loop rhythm pattern of just couch to couch to couch to couch, always at the party, always with the homies.
You were perpetually a teenager, in other words. You were not taking the mantle of responsibility as a man.
Yes, absolutely, and I lived through that up until my early 30s, and when I finally realized that, dude, it clicked and it pissed me off.
At yourself?
Yes, absolutely. At self, you know, and then I realized, man, that self has control of self. Like anytime I wanted drugs, I got it.
Yeah.
So when I wanted to get away from the meth, I grew a hatred for it. There is no desire. I don't use NA. I don't use AA. I don't use Jesus. You know, and I tell people I don't use no crutches. Oh, well, Jesus ain't a crutch. That's not what I'm saying.
Right. No, you're just saying that for you,
for me,
that you could not allow yourself to transfer that somewhere else, that you had to solely do on your own.
It had to be on me.
Yeah, you had to stand 10 toes down and get it done.
Absolutely. And, you know, I met my wife Jasmine at the creek. I was playing a guitar, man. I was on a bicycle still, man. Not really much to my name, working at Sonic, man. And we hung out there at the creek. She wanted to know if I could play that guitar.
Yeah.
And boy, she's country too, man. Even when she talks, I said, yeah, my shit. And because I don't know any cover songs.
Right.
And, she said that'll work, boy. And I played her one, and man, we've been together every day since.
Is that right?
Yeah, going on. We've been together 5 years now, and I'm going on 6 years sober.
That's awesome.
6 years sober, and it's just been a hell of a ride, man. I wouldn't trade it for nothing, man. I was a deadbeat dad. Blamed all my problems on baby mamas and stuff that I could have fought with money, if I'd have wanted to. But yeah, man, I've got my kids in my life. they're teenagers now, so it's really hard to build a relationship. It's kind of awkward at times.
Yeah, it's a challenge,
It's a challenge.
and the sad thing is, that you dealt yourself the hand, so you got to work through
Yeah.
it and play through it, and
Absolutely.
hope that
Yeah.
as they get older and see that you're still there and still, committed, that
Yeah.
that it circles back around some. But
Yeah.
you lost something there, and you know that.
Yeah, and so I play that out, the best that I can.
Yeah.
And other than that, man, life has just been. I never got to go anywhere and do anything. We went to Colorado on vacation, man. I had never been out of Arkansas really.
Yeah.
Shoot, I was 30 years old, actually 34. I had never had a bank account. I had never registered a vehicle. Never had car insurance. And only been to Little Rock 3 times maybe my whole life, man. Honestly, I was stuck in Hector. And yeah, man,
Not a lot of upside in Hector.
not a
I'll
lot
be
of
honest with
upside,
you.
and
Not to say it's not a nice, pretty place or whatever. I'm just
No.
saying that not a lot going on there
There's
to
nothing.
to stop you from doing that. Yeah.
yeah, nothing but air and opportunity to
Yeah.
get in trouble and do drugs.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that and some really good people in my life, man, pushing me. My good friend Natel, man, pushed me, to get with y'all.
Yeah.
And I was with him this weekend, man, and he's
He's
like,
a good man.
yeah, man, he's awesome, dude.
He is. He's good. He's very good people. He's talking about Natel from Dark from day one. He's a longtime friend of mine and clearly a friend of yours as well. And I've known Natal now for, man, I don't know, whenever Mudfest. What was that, 06 maybe? That's when I met him. His sister got her car stuck in the mud, as the name implied, Mudfest, and I was pushing her out, helping her leave.
Nice.
And that's when we met, and we became friends after that, and we've been friends since.
Yeah,
But he's an outstanding human being, and he does a lot of good.
Oh yeah, man, big supporter of mine in my music.
Yeah.
I'm really a songwriter, man. I've never claimed to be, this great voice or nothing, but man, he's always got my back on it.
Yeah.
Just anything I send him, man, he's like, I'll send him lyrics, I'll send him chord progressions,
Yeah.
stuff like that, man. Always super supportive. And just supportive people, man. When you change your life, it's unreal how differently people look at you.
It is. I think it's to me, one of the most challenging things of recovery, it seems like, is being able to accept the hurt that you caused before.
Oh man.
Because that's where the pain, will keep haunting you from. And then you're like, man, maybe I can never fix it. So what's the point? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you learn to replace that with the joy of living today,
Yeah.
the best life that you can, as they say, living your best life, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
It does help that subside, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then mine's paying attention to the little things. My nephew recently went to jail up there in Clarksville. I don't really know that it was his fault or what happened in the whole situation. It's a whole different story. But man, when they called me, I understood what my uncle felt
Yeah.
seeing me use a revolving door at the county detention center. And and so I logged that, man. I logged it so that, if I ever do think about doing stupid shit again, I'll know all these feelings that I put people through, man.
Right.
Not giving a shit about nobody but myself.
Yeah, and that's ultimately, what happens when you get down that far enough is that is about what you care about,
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've been sober 6 years, you say?
Yeah.
That's, man, mad respect to
Yeah,
you, bro.
I would say 6.5, but I was locked up 6 months of it.
So you don't count that because it was forced.
I don't count it because, I wasn't on the streets.
Yeah, right. And let me ask this. So how long were you in lockup for a while?
Just 6 months on
Just
both.
6 months,
yeah,
okay.
On both rounds. The first time I was in there was in 2008 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
And I had been in there 2 months, and it was going really good. They had music in there. Once you climbed in rank, they would let you use those.
Earn some privileges. Yeah.
And have some privileges. And man, I was making my way through it great. Had a mindset. I kind of liked what they were. I was kind of digging what they were putting out.
You were picking it up. Yeah.
And my uncle, or they called me down to the main office and told me I had a phone call. And I pick up the phone, and it's my Aunt Scooter. And she's like, baby, you know, we love you. Mitchell, we love you. I'm thinking my dad's passed away, really. Man.
Yeah.
And she just keeps on saying it, and I'm like, fucking tell me what it is, you know? And
You're good. You're good.
and anyway, my Uncle Rusty gets on there, man, and his voice was trembling, and he said, Mitchell, it's Chad. And I was like, well, what's wrong with him? And they said something about a car accident or something. And I asked, well, what is he in Little Rock? Where is he at? And he's like, Mitchell, he's gone. You know, and the phone just hit the floor.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I shut down. I gave them real problems down there for, you know, because I still had 4 more months left on my sentence, and I think my grandma and my mom maybe paid them a little money for like the insurance policy or whatever, but they gave me an 8-hour furlough, so I got to go to Hector and bury my brother. Which once you go from Little Rock to Hector,
But I bet if I'm willing to bet, somewhere in there at that point when you were holding yourself responsible in some ways, because you weren't there, you couldn't be there for him, and you were trying to blame yourself.
Yeah, definitely. You know, he broke his ankle one time, man, and I carried him a long ways, dude. You know, and I just, in my mind, I thought, you know, we were super close, man.
Right.
Always together.
So I have another friend who's been through a very similar experience. So
it was tough, man, because I felt like, you know, I'd have carried him 100 miles if I'd have had to. You know, and come to find out, man, he had a underdeveloped coronary artery. It's called like hypoplasty left heart or something.
Yeah.
And typically no one lives, they don't really make it far past birth.
Yeah, so in other words, he had outrun the time frame anyway.
Yeah, which is crazy because we used to beat the ever-loving shit out of each other, you know. I mean, and like
I feel you on that.
We had fun at it, you know, and anyway, so his coronary artery was underdeveloped when he hit puberty. Everything grew except for that artery. It stretched.
And it couldn't withstand the blood flow. It just pops.
Yeah, as soon as he went to relax.
And then that's it. Yeah.
And so that you know, and I messed up and actually looked at my mom had an envelope full of photos of the scene, you know. I messed up and looked at it, but I had to put myself in his shoes, and I really can because I'm super empathic, you know.
Yeah.
But he had got the door cracked. The phone was laying in the floor. You could tell that he was scared, knew something was wrong, and was, you know, trying to get help. And I had to just realize one day that was a major deal, that with him all the way out, and I think he was out in way up somewhere around Clinton, coming back towards Hector. That would have been nothing I could have done, and it probably would have stained me worse.
Yeah, no, hindsight's always better than in the moment, but I can only imagine being, you know, incarcerated. I mean, and that happened, and you have no power. Yeah. Nothing you can really do, and that had to drive you crazy, man. Yeah. And it sounds like it did for a minute.
Yeah, it sucked, man. Luckily, man, I had three buddies in there. One was from Polk County that I knew, and then the other two were from Clinton.
Yeah.
And anyway, they done music, man. They let us put together a band, and we wrote songs. The band was called...
Your little prison garage band?
Yeah, man, it was great, dude. In fact...
That sounds like a good name, prison garage band.
The jail cells.
In fact, we had big dreams with it, man. It was really good music. And Kenny, our lead singer, man, you know, he was really wild. And as soon as he got out, man, he binged, you know,
and did it,
and backslid, and you know, ran into the post office up there and died.
Yeah,
and,
man, that's sad.
You know,
so you know, that's the thing too, is you find, or I've learned from people who find themselves in the depths of the addiction, because as you know, as everybody knows, there's different levels of addiction. You know, you got the functional addict who, you know, somehow manages to do it all the time, but still shows up to work and all the ball games, yells at the coaches and all that shit, right? And then you got a little bit worse where, you know, they're getting by, but it's marginal. And then you're in it.
Yeah.
And the people who find themselves there for any period of time, it seems like they experience a lot of loss.
Yeah.
A lot of friends, a lot of family members that pass away, because a lot of people are in that same ball game,
Running
and
from
and
it.
and,
Running
and,
from
and
it.
take a lot of loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually got to stomp all over my addiction the other day. Super cool, man. Went to go buy this motor off an old boy, and it was still in the truck. He's got the hood popped when I pulled up. I've known this dude forever. Same guy I was talking to about the RCs.
Yeah.
And anyhow, this other guy was walking back and forth there, man, and I thought he had some weed on a tray, and so I look over and I was like, "Hell, got your old doobie to roll up there, boy?" And he was like, about the time that I made eye contact with the tray, "Oh no, man, that's just my dope." And I was like, "Holy shit!" I said, "Well, that ain't what I was looking for, brother."
Yeah.
And it was just a massive pile of rocks on this tray, man. And I turned over and I looked at my buddy and I said, "Look, dude, if you sell this blazer in the middle of your addiction, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life, because I'm going to haul it across the scales, I'm going to bash it in the head, and that's going to be the end of that blazer for you." And this was like one of his first vehicles,
Yeah.
And, but yeah, man, when I left there, after talking to him about that and explaining to him, man, that, dude, I get high off these a bunch of times, like I don't have to have a sack of drugs. This is
Yeah.
my dope money.
Yeah.
And, I got home and it is the highlight of my day, because, I was right there.
Because you walked away from it. You
Right.
saw it. It was
Absolutely.
there.
Yeah,
It was in
man.
front of you. You had plenty of it.
Yeah.
And it was there for you to take.
Yeah.
And you said, "Nah, I'm not going to."
Yeah, man, it wasn't
And
my
that, there
thing.
you felt like a superhero, didn't
Oh,
you?
dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
Because the old you couldn't have done that.
Yeah, oh yeah, man. For a couple weeks straight, man, I just, and even still thinking about it now, man, just
Right.
Yeah, I bet.
You can see it, man.
But
Yeah.
because
You
it's
should
an
be proud.
empowering feeling. That held you hostage for a long time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And so now you're looking at your perpetrator there, the one that held you hostage, and you're like, "No, but you can't do it anymore."
Yeah, oh,
I'm
yeah.
out. you
Yeah,
know?
I realized, that I was like, holy shit, man, the meth ain't got me by the balls no more.
Right.
That's a powerful statement,
is, man.
That's a power, and I have to imagine that
Hey, man, good job.
somewhere, somebody's going to hear or see this and go, "I want to feel like that.
Right.
Yeah,
I want to feel that way. I don't want to feel the addiction anymore. I don't want to have to do that anymore." And you don't have to. You don't have to.
yeah. Oh no, I'll tell you, man, dude, I'm a local legend around Hector, man, like outlaw.
Yeah.
By God, like I've been told not to come in the damn gas station before. Like, "Hey, man, we don't like your kind
Yeah.
around here." You know what I mean? And if I can come out of it, man, no bank account, no vehicle insurance, registration, tax files, or nothing until I'm 33 years old. If I can do it,
And now you got all those
Right.
things.
everything, man.
Now you got taxes
Yeah,
and
everything.
bills.
Oh,
and
I will say
you ever
though,
think,
man,
it was a lot easier when I didn't have taxes and bills.
I was just, I was just about to hit on that. When I was in the addiction, man, I stressed on what I was doing that day and where I was getting my buzz. Man, when I took on sobriety, holy shit, I went ahead and lost the rest of my hair.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I guess that's a really, in a way, a profound statement or observation that, if say nothing else about a meth head, they live in the moment.
Oh yeah,
Only in the moment. They are as present as it gets.
yeah.
They might be itching and fighting the demons, but they're present. You know what I mean? It's only what's happening in the next hour, 2 hours, tomorrow
Yeah.
that matters. Once you get sober, you start thinking about everything this direction and this direction
man.
all the time.
I tell Jasmine all the time, I get to watch y'all till right about 8 o'clock, and then I've got to clock into work. But
Yeah.
I tell her, like, look, I get up in the mornings, I watch PATP, I'm getting dressed, and it's the only time I have to myself. The whole rest of the day, man, I've got to worry about pleasing every single body around.
That's true. That's true.
And holding to an agenda that it may not always be mine.
No, it may not be, but it is the sober agenda,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah,
And that's
and it's
you
so
make some
nice.
trades.
Yeah, absolutely. At the end of the day, I never realized how much stress I was going to take on, though. That was probably, and sometimes I think, I think that may be some of people's problems whenever they're trying to come out of addiction is, man, it's so damn hard.
It's overwhelming.
It is.
No, I mean, taking accountability one time is, I don't want to say easy. It's not. But taking accountability one time is one thing. Taking accountability day after day
Yeah.
in sober life, walking through the wake of the tornado that you were,
Yeah.
because you have to walk through all the damage you've caused, not just once, but over and over again.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because people, for a long time, people still are skeptical.
Yeah.
They're still pissed off. They're still
yeah.
resentful. They're angry.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you hurt them. Maybe you stole from them. Who knows what you did? But you have to walk through that and see it.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult for people who, you know, they just murder themselves in their own head so much.
Yeah.
You know, how can I ever possibly make things better? How can I ever possibly change people's perception of me? How can I possibly get my ship upright?
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's really overwhelming to people.
Self is your worst enemy.
Yeah, no, that's damn sure the truth. There's no worse enemy than yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that. Mitchell, are you going to do a song for us today?
Man, I've got one for y'all. It's fresh, man. I hope I don't mess it up.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's take a break. We're going to take a break real quick. I'm probably going to put you over on this side instead so you can get closer to the mic, or we'll fix the mic, one or the other. And so let's take a break. We'll come back and let Mitchell dazzle us all with a song.
Yeah.
All right? All right. Give us just a minute, and we will be there.
Change is good. It's how we evolve. Friday changed to Saturday like April morphed into May. It's only revolution that changes night into day. So why is change a bomb? A shrapnel from the trauma. Fragments deep inside, unhealed and leaking trauma. Reposition, rearrange, twist yourself until you can't. But you can't escape change when it's the only constant. It's not the camera, but the lens. Your field of vision opens. Unaware of this, yeah. It's taken many wise men. In darkness, flowers may grow there, but much easier to raise a nightmare. If you're on a sinking ship, you have to leave the deck chair. Reposition, rearrange, twist yourself until you can't. But you can't escape change when it's the only constant. Storms give way to sun, no other way it's done. Resist with all you have, it's all bullets and no gun. Walking headfirst into fire, it's the very thing required. Don't worry about damage, it will all be rewired. Reposition, rearrange, twist yourself until you can't. But you can't.
And then they just called me yesterday, so next Thursday I'm going to start doing a coaches interview at Washington Barnes Grill. I'm Stranger's Wife as a coach. It's going to be streamed on YouTube and done live there at the bar and everything. Yeah, they just called me up there like,
The only constant is change.
Have you been injured? You need an attorney with a passion for people and an obsession with justice. That attorney is Tim Reed in Little Rock. Look, they've won $1.3 million in wrongful death, almost $1 million in medical malpractice and in insurance dispute. These guys know what they're doing, but more importantly, he's not a figurehead of some kind. He's not just some person on a poster with a picture of a rig or a smile or his dog with him. This is a real guy you can text with, you can talk to, and who will take good care of you. He'll work with you personally to get what you deserve. Check out reedfirm.com readfirm.com, readfirm.com, or give them a call, 777-7333. You know, a lot of times you might not hear cool and attorney in the same line, but when I'm talking about Riggin Law, you will, because Kristen Riggin and her crew are just cool people. You know, going to an attorney can be intimidating, and you feel like you're being talked down to. They're talking in legalese, and it's scary. Not with Kristen. She's going to break it down to you just like I would, sit there and talk to you, kind of work it out and figure it out in the fair and right way. Doesn't matter if it's divorce or custody or if it's elder law. They do a lot of stuff to help out with you know, court situations where you may have a family member who's died and you've got something going into probate. Man, you don't want to argue with your siblings over that. Don't put yourself in that position. That's what Riggin Law does. They'll help you work through the probate and all of that. If you've got a custody issue, even a criminal issue, it doesn't matter. Kristen can help you. And man, they are an amazing group of people. You can give them a call, 249-1289. It's 249-1289. Or just go to rigginlaw.com and tell Kristen we sent you. All right, we are back, and Mitchell here, Mitchell Rudder, right?
Yeah.
Mitchell Rudder. Mitchell is going to perform a song for us, and I'm very excited about it. Brandon, do we have an angle that will? Let me just look here. I'll do it. It's on me here.
I think, yeah, right.
Oh yeah, here. Just let me do one thing real quick. Hold
While
on.
you're doing that, man,
Exactly.
during your story, man, a lot of viewers just commenting and, you know, with support, encouragement, you know, congratulations, good job, man. It really resonated with a lot of people.
Yeah,
so
I would imagine so.
That's a real true, you know, good story for you to be able, and not just a story, but I mean, you know, life experiences for you
That's
to.
that's part of it, you know, is passing it forwards,
Right.
you know, and hopefully potentially being, you know, a small piece in someone else's recovery.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's your time to shine, man. Do your thing, man. We're just here to be fans now.
Hey,
Go ahead.
How's it sounding there?
It sounds you sound amazing.
Right on. So much change in the world we live in. So much change, so much change. As I wake early in the morning, so much pain in my way. It's my age, always moving forward. Will today be my day? Walk kinda crooked 'cause I'm so broken. Talk kinda stupid 'cause I'm insane. Burn on the fire but I'm not smoking. Dust in the wind just floating in the breeze. People wanna know, well, what's my secret? Got a little something watching me. It's my black crow, always watching my black crow, always watching a little black crow. It's always watching a little black crow, always watching me. It's little black crow, it's always watching little black crow. It's everywhere I go. So much change in the world we live in. So much change, so much change. Walk kinda crooked 'cause I'm so broken. Talk kinda stupid 'cause I'm insane.
All right, man.
yeah, man.
Wow, how about that, everybody?
Good job.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me get over there. And
Okay, that'll work.
Tell you what that song's about.
I think I got an idea, but go ahead. I'd like to hear from your mouth what it is about.
It's cool because my songs mean different things to different people. And,
Sure.
But that one there, man, is about the always aging body and what it would say if it could talk.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting perspective. Yeah, I think you could take lots of things from it. You know, when you're talking about the crow, it threw me back to Edgar Allan Poe, The Raven.
Oh, yeah.
And it kind of made me think about that because that crow haunted him.
Yeah.
You know, the raven haunted him, and so that song is kind of haunting.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think that really went well. I think it metaphorically was pretty cool.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, that's
Heck yeah.
dope, man. That's dope. Forgive that pun,
Hey,
but it is cool.
That's killer, man. You know, that's one thing that, you know, it's like when you smash your finger and you're holding it, but you can't outrun it. You know,
Yeah.
Aging is like that. You know, when
No, I can tell you that's true.
you know, and the body itself is insane, man. You know,
Yeah.
you may feel good one day, and the next day wake up, my old leg just won't quite move for you. You know.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking of becoming transhuman, this is exactly
Yeah, man, that's
was just a
fantastic,
perfect
man.
opportunity.
I'm just proud for you that and happy for you that you've been able to overcome so much adversity. You know, whether it was self-dealt or whether it was dealt by tragedy in your life and different things that happen, and you know, you can sense you can feel it coming off of you that. You know, you're a new person. You can sense it. You can feel it. You know,
yeah.
and that you're living every day to its fullest and doing it.
Yeah,
you know?
man. The foundation I built, man, just really kicks butt. You know, and I don't know, man. I don't miss anything from that old life. I guess maybe what bleeds out of me is just I'm so damn thankful because I never got to experience none of this stuff. You know.
Right.
And,
So, just as a follow-up question, you know, from the point that you said I'm done with this life, how long did it take to where you feel like your brain didn't try to revert you back to that life?
it really was immediately.
Yeah, you just made that decision and boom, I'm done.
Yeah, and then you know, I'm like I helped raising my nephew there for the last few years of his teenage years and stuff, man. And I treated myself like I would have him. I worked it on a reward system. When I got my check, I spent $60 to $100 on myself.
Yeah.
And I made sure that it was something I was going to enjoy. I could
Something
play with,
productive, positive
you know,
that would be.
whether it be a kayak, whether it be a four-wheeler vehicles, you know, anything like that. So I bought up stuff that could get me high, you know,
In a different way.
In a different way.
In a healthy way.
In a
you traded it for healthy. You substituted healthier things that gave you joy.
Yes.
Versus something that gave you fake joy that you have to chase all the time.
Yes, and I found something that was worth never giving up.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. What would you know, if you had to speak to somebody, if there's somebody right now who's watching, listening, and they're where you were, what would you say to them? What would be the thing if you had 10 seconds to say something to them? What would you say?
Are you pissed off about it yet?
That's a great man. That's powerful right there. That's powerful. Are you pissed off about it yet?
Yeah.
That's powerful. You know, that's potent right there.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, you know, and that's a good point. You know, a very good friend of mine. I was going through a real difficult time. It was not involving drugs, but I was going through a really difficult time, and I went over to talk to him, and I was pissed off, and I was kind of ranting, and I said, man, I'm sorry. I know I'm yammering on here, and he goes, I know you, and I'd much rather you be mad than sad. He said, because I know if you're mad, you're doing something about it.
Yeah.
And that's true. You know, when you're depressed, you're stagnant,
Right.
and you do nothing. I mean, that's really, to me, the definition of depression is stagnant.
Yeah.
You're trapped. You're stuck in molasses. You're not doing anything. You know, you're just in a holding pattern. And when you start, even when you get mad, the benefit of it moves you.
Yeah.
Anger moves.
Right.
Yeah.
Depression doesn't.
Yeah.
Sadness doesn't.
Gives
you
you
know.
a little extra motivation.
Yeah. So that's what a profound question. Are you mad yet?
Yeah.
Are you pissed off yet?
Yeah.
That's great, man. That's fantastic,
Absolutely.
man. I really thank you for coming in today. Thank you for taking time to share, your story, because it's a lot, and hopefully it helps somebody out there to hear that and realize, man, I want to be where that dude is. I want to be waking up, loving my life. I want to have a house. I want to have a lady. I want to, have the ability to help my nephew and to buy some things that I enjoy and just live a different life,
Yeah, and if anybody can come out of it today, know that I'll be over here. I may not be right next to you, but I'll be smiling in the sun too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, on the same planet going around. That's it. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. All right, let's see. Little Doggy had a request, and I'm going to try to honor it. Hold on. Just talk for a minute, Rich, about
Yeah,
something.
man. Yeah,
you got
man.
something to promote, right?
We got some. We always got. Well, it was just funny because when we were out on last break, Mitchell, he was like, "When's your next show coming up, Rich?" And I was like, "Which one? Which one would you like to come to?" Which is a good thing to say. We've got Pride Bowl coming up this Saturday, though. I believe that's going to be in Paragould. That's with Wrestling with Pride. And that's their really big event of the year. That's like their WrestleMania. So
Yeah.
that'll be good. We got the Wise Guys coming up next Saturday. Yeah, is that going to be? Yeah, the 21st. They'll be back in town for their home game there in Hot Springs.
Awesome.
And then speaking about that, tomorrow I will not be here, and that's going to be a new thing going forward, at least through the end of July on
Just
Thursday.
through the end of July, at least as far as we know right now. But
Yeah.
Because Mr. In Demand Rockwell, Rich, quote, In Demand Rockwell, is going to be hosting the coaches interview every Thursday for the Wise Guys, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
so he's
sir.
going to break down the game. He's going to break down the coach's perspective. He's going to, talk
We're going
about
to talk
where
to some
they're going.
players
Yeah.
and coaches, and yeah, man, it's
Yeah,
going to be.
no, he's the real deal.
And this is the
This
best
the
thing.
real deal right here.
It's going to be live at the Washita Bar and Grill in Hot Springs. So y'all come on out.
Okay, so
check out the
people
interview.
can come out live audience and be part of it.
Absolutely, man. Come on out, have a bite, have a drink, check out the interview.
Get pictures with Rich In Demand.
In demand.
Yeah, no, it's true. I'm so proud of
With
him,
his
man. I mean,
silky
Man,
smooth
I'm
voice.
seriously. I say it all the time, but I'm so grateful and blessed for all the opportunities that are coming my way, and obviously thank everybody for all their support.
Oh man, I mean, everybody is just as excited as you are, bro.
I'm
You know what I
glad
mean?
to share
I
it
mean,
with y'all, man.
Everybody's
It's,
sharing the journey.
Right?
We're all living vicariously. You know what I mean?
It's
It's
awesome,
a great
man.
thing. The joy of what we're doing here every single day gives me something
Well-
special. You want to talk about joy. To me, the greatest joy is being able to see something you can offer that can benefit someone else.
Right,
And,
right.
and if I can continue to do that until the day I die, I'll be happier than I could ever be doing anything singularly for myself.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I couldn't be more thrilled.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I mean,
we,
but yeah.
we talk a lot, so
Very
you know.
rewarding.
But
Very
it's
rewarding.
man, and it's on so many levels because not only is it providing me opportunities, to grow my career, but also like the people that I've met along the way. I mean, Mitchell's reached out to me on Facebook.
Yeah.
We've had
Yeah.
many conversations, and just made new friends and stuff along the way. So it's always great. Man.
But that's I mean, and if
Again, tribe for the tribalists.
a
man.
tribe for the tribalists. That's right. If you go into if you come watch the show for the first time, and you somehow wander into our chat area, like on YouTube, particularly, you're going to find that that's truly the spirit of everybody here. Everybody listening, everybody watching, everybody involved in any possible way. It's about how can we lift each other up.
Right.
Because aren't there enough people taking us down?
Right.
Yeah.
Aren't there
Right.
enough trying to shoot us down every day?
Yep.
There are, man, and I don't need any more. You don't need any more. So we may as well lift each other up. Screw the other people, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and like down here, man, like when I came down here with you the last time, Rich, it's just so safe and inviting.
Yeah.
Just a good, I guess.
Environment to
Yeah,
come
I-
into.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
man. You
I-
feel
yeah,
comfortable.
man.
You feel like you can be
yeah.
yourself.
I wish I could make it more succinct than Rich did, but a tribe for the tribeless. I mean, that's really what it is. You know,
Right.
that's who we have become.
Oh yeah, excellent.
And that's as good of a label as I could ever ask for.
Yeah.
Because that's how I grew up, feeling kind of tribeless in a lot of ways.
Right.
I never really.
I
felt
feel
like-
that, man. 'Cause
Yeah.
same. Like,
Yeah,
I
never
wasn't
really
the
fit in.
popular kid.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I was just popular enough, but not quite.
Yeah.
You know,
I always called myself like the loner stoner,
Yeah, I mean, I had friends. It's not that I didn't. It's just that I never really, I was always it kind of even though I was with friends, I never really felt like I fit. I felt
Right,
like an
right.
imposter.
Yeah. Absolutely,
Even
I
then.
get that. Yeah.
You know, and I don't want to talk about imposter syndrome. That's such a trite phrase now, but I did. You know, I never felt like I fit in. And so, you know, to be with everybody else who's felt that way, you know, it's a cool thing.
Dude, I've been a loyalist since like day one, I guess. You know,
Back in the day?
way back in the day.
Yeah.
In fact, I used to listen to the radio, and when you weren't on it no more,
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry for them. I'm
yeah.
not.
Are you though? Are you
No,
really?
I'm
Come
not.
on.
I'm not sorry at all for them. You know, you fucked up.
yeah, big time.
You fumbled.
Yeah, no, they
yeah,
did.
big
They
time.
did. They did.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and again, they have a lot. You know, iHeart has a lot more money than I do, so it doesn't hurt them.
What if they ever approached you and said, "Hey, let's bring PATP on the radio"?
D's.
Would you do it? I mean, take this format, let us throw it on the radio.
Only if I have 100% control.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
No filter, no nothing.
Right.
Otherwise, I don't want it.
You're right.
No, why would I want to go back? You know, once you get out on your own from your house, why would you want to move back in with mom and dad if you don't have
Yeah.
to?
Right. I get
And,
that.
and that's what I'd feel like. I'd be just inviting them in to tell me what I can't do.
What do they call
Right.
that? Regression?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my mind, it would be. You know, I'd rather walk away
Yeah.
than go back.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Oh, yeah.
You know, now, you know, if XM called me and said, "Hey, you know, we want to do something, we want to put you on here," okay, well, that's a different story. you know,
Right, because they have a lot more freedom.
That's
I mean,
right,
again,
because
there's-
I can do the same show,
Right.
probably with some better production value. You know, but the same show, I could do that. But no, they did call me back.
yeah.
They did.
Wow.
They did call me back. To be honest with you, right before we went live here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
They did.
Yeah.
And I asked them a couple questions. You know, they said, "Would you consider?" And I said, "Am I going to get to choose who's on the show and how it's going to run?"
Right.
Well, I said, then there's nothing left to discuss.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not doing the show you want me to do. It's not for me. Hey, whatever you guys need to do, you go do it.
Yeah.
And do it proudly. But I'm not. I can't co-sign on some corporate schlockery
Yeah.
and that sounds like every other damn radio station that you've ever heard. It's, you know, and I'm not beating down on somebody to say that. I mean, they don't have control either. They're doing what they've been instructed to do in the
Right.
show.
It's all
Right.
generic.
But you can't break through doing the same old shit everybody else does. It's
Right.
not going to connect with people.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, you're going to connect with the people who need something to listen to for 15 minutes when they're driving to work, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, if they don't lock into the 7-minute commercial break you're going to play, you know, which is facts. Those are facts.
Yeah. No. You're. Yeah.
Well, and my thing up until I was, you know, when I started listening to you on the morning show, you know, it was, I didn't mind listening to a morning show, but before that and still after that, I'm like, shut up, play some music. It's early in the morning, and
Yeah.
I want to get rocking, and these
Yeah.
fuckers are talking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, because they're not saying anything.
No.
They're
Right.
just regurgitating, spitting,
Yeah.
you know, doing stuff like that. I always wanted to have more of a conversation. I wanted to either do that or have fun and torment
Yeah.
my on-air partner
Yeah, and the comedy
as often
you
as
know,
possible.
is excellent.
You know, I like the Wile E. Coyote, his ass, you know.
Mimi.
You know, but you know, it's just how it worked out, and it was. Listen, I'm proud of the work I did there. I'm proud of what we built there. Look, when not to say they didn't have something worthwhile when I got there. That, of course they did, you know, but we went from 26,000 or 34,000 on Facebook to 126,000. You know, it's still, to my knowledge, the biggest Facebook
yeah.
page of any radio in Arkansas and across the nation for many.
Yeah.
It's way up there. And we had, you know, I came in and I brought in, at the time, what we called the FAME program that I invented that created legends. And those were ambassadors for us that, you know, helped us anchor into the community more. And then, of course, I was more of the community representative. You know what I mean? I was the guy that was part of the people.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why that it connected so well with people, because I've always been one of y'all.
Yeah.
You know, I am one of y'all. I'm a screw up.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I've had my ups and downs. I have good moments. I have bad moments. I'm just a normal cat,
Yeah.
like everybody else.
I
You
remember
know?
you used to come in doses at first, you know.
Yeah.
They would be like, you know, you were a guest.
Yeah, no, I started out as Friday guy. You know, I'd come in. Well, first I started calling, and then I would come in live every Friday. And the last rant I did, I think, was number 818.
Nice.
You know, that's not bad. That's not bad. All right, Rich's little girly tone tells us it's time to take a break, and this is a request from Rickshaw, or little doggy as he goes by now. So here you go.
Just pulled out of your place. I can still smell your cologne. Trying to keep a slow pace, but I'm not made of stone. I'm an independent queen. Never needed a man to be complete, but you're like a limousine. I wanna ride to OMG Street. I'm not normally like this, I swear. You got me so out of pocket. Those green eyes and brown hair got me blasting like a rocket. Watch a show, maybe read a book, keep my mind on business. Why is it I feel so shook? What the hell is this? Call my girlfriend, talk to her. She's giving the right advice. She says 100 be demure, but I know that won't suffice. I'm not normally like this, I swear. You got me so out of pocket. Those green eyes and brown hair got me blasting like a rocket. I'm trying to get my feet on solid ground, but I'm not sure I'll safely land. I already turned the car around so I can make you my man. I don't care who or what I used to be. I'm gonna use every trick I know. Open the door and you'll sure see I'm bringing dessert and a show. He ain't gonna know what he's in for, but I promise he's gonna want more. I'm not normally like this, I swear. You got me so out of pocket. Those green eyes and brown hair got me blasting like a rocket. You got me so out of pocket. You got me so out of pocket. Okay, Commander, let's ride this rocket.
What is there to say that's not been said? A love that was trampled, is it already dead? I keep trying, I'm calling your name. If we lose, it's a shame, and maybe even a sin. But it's dying, 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 dying. I don't want it to die. I don't wanna cry. I'm reaching for you, and you're asking why. Baby, don't you know you got the title to my soul? You bought that real estate on our very first day. Won't you hear the alarm ringing, ringing? Can't you hear it? Baby, don't you know you got the time to my soul? You thought that we would stay on our very first day. No, 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 no. Baby, don't you know you got the title to my soul? No, no, no. Baby, don't you know you got the title to my soul?
Yeah, another fine PATP tune right there, baby. There you go. I was talking, we were off air here on our break and talking to Mitchell about songwriting. So, when you go into songwriting, you were telling me that you've been writing since you were a kid, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when what's your process like when you write a song?
When I write the song, I usually have a guitar melody with it, and then
Do you start with the melody or do you start with the words usually?
I usually start with the melody.
Yeah. Okay. I could see that.
I've got a lot of stuff wrote down. Mm-hmm. It don't always match what I've got, so it just has to sit over there.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'll pluck one out, and I'll be able to just roll with it. But
Yeah.
I took some lyrics up there to Nattel's house one time, and tried to put it with their music, and it just wasn't it. I was going to actually need to sit and listen to it over and over and write to it, because most of the stuff, like when I'm writing, I can't recreate the music that I'm hearing in my head to it, because I don't know what I'm doing on the guitar.
Right.
But like, as long as I can write to the song, then I can catch the feeling of it. Like when I wrote Mud Pies and Matchbox Cars, it was like I wanted to write kind of a party song that told a little bit about who I was, but also about how we used to just get down and hector.
Right, right.
And if you think we don't,
Yeah. Right.
we still do. And so it's usually a feeling. I've got to find that feeling in it, and it's got to match. Sometimes it's just not there.
Yeah. That I was saying a minute ago, right before we came on air, is sometimes I feel really narcissistic because I like sometimes to listen to my own shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that sounds dumb as hell to me, saying out loud, but sometimes, I guess you just get excited when you take your words and it turns into this song and you're like, man, that worked out better than I expected.
Yeah.
Even,
Oh, yeah.
that's exciting.
Now my biggest thing is I love to listen to it back, but then I get aggravated because there's so much more
That you could have done in that.
that I want to hear in it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
finding musicians, man, it's just becoming a thing of the past. It seems like
It's tricky at times, isn't it?
well, everybody wants to be a one-man band under their name, and
Yeah.
they don't want to share any of it with nobody. Instead of banding together like that, I told Rich, there in Hector, man, we've got so many talented musicians, man, and they could band up. All of us could band up and probably take the whole boat to the show.
Yeah.
To whereas one guy might not do it.
Right.
But you got 6 different guys, man. You're a rolling show right there yourself.
Yeah, no, it's cool when you get, 4 or 5 people with guitars in one place and they're in a good jam, man. It gets powerful.
Yeah, absolutely.
It gets real powerful
and,
sometimes.
it's just something that's I feel like it's always missing in my recordings and in my songs and stuff.
For me, it's different than you because you're playing and you have your own genre that's you.
Yeah.
You know, the fun thing for me when I'm doing it is to try to write in other genres that maybe I do like all kinds of music, but I mean, you know, it might be music I typically wouldn't go search out for. And so to write a pop song like the one I played a minute ago, Out of Pocket, or, you know, a country song or things that normally might not be my bag is a lot of fun to me.
Yeah,
To push myself and stretch myself.
I actually started out in rap.
Pause.
Which is crazy, you know, being from Hector. I actually started out in rap. I walked up on some guys at a party and I was like, man, what are y'all doing? And they're like, dude, we're rapping.
Yeah.
And they sucked. You know what I mean? But
They suck.
I had all like me and you was talking about. I'd been writing poetry for years and years, you know, and so it just naturally came out.
Yeah.
So then the next thing I know, you know, I remember being at a party at Hector, man, and a couple of friends there just picking me up by the shoulders. I've always been little, you know, and they dragged me plumb across the fire, and they're like, rap something, Mo, rap something, dude.
Yeah.
And you know, and it turned into that for years. You know, it's something my brother always loved. Man, my brother can rap, you know, and you know, I'd done a little bit of recording with it. I wrote a really good one called Innuendo. And it was these two guys that we were living with, man. I had a really good chick friend, and we were strictly friends.
Yeah.
And but she stayed in my room all the time. And the other guy, he, you know, always had the booze, always had the smoke.
Yeah.
And me and her'd sit in there and figure out which booty shorts and tank top was going to get us a score over there in the next room. And then they go, you know, after all this, they go to telling my best friend, oh, yeah, we got Mitchell's girl on lock, man. That's our, you know, that's our bitch, you know.
Yeah, right.
I know the whole time, you know.
You were playing the pimp game.
Absolutely. So, you know, and they played a lot of video games and stuff, man. And I was like, them two Mario and Luigi MFers, you know. So I wrote Nintendo, and it basically starts out with rookies hit the game as Mario and Luigi, but I'm Big Bowser, and they just want to beat me.
Yeah,
Playing
right.
over levels, losing lives and power. The princess ain't baked, she's loving Bowser. You know, and
That's great, man. That's great.
And so I recorded it over a 50-cent beat, and anyway, it done really good on Facebook, you know, and then I got into metal. I done metal screaming for a little while, and I've actually got a song called So-Called Homie. My lead guitarist for the metal got a liking for my girl at the time, and I pulled him up next to a pine tree down at the gas well pad so he couldn't open his door, and I beat the shit out of him in my truck. Drug him out.
That's real talk.
And threw a joint in his chest, and I left him there. And
At least you left him with a J.
I did. And
Here, make your pain
yeah,
better, bitch.
we had been friends for a long time. You know, I wasn't gonna leave.
That's the difference in dudes. Dudes can whoop each other's ass and be cool again later.
Yeah.
Girls aren't
Like,
that
yeah, man, I was
And,
an asshole. I deserve this.
No,
So,
girls never. They almost never take one back into the fold. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So after that went down, I wrote So-Called Homie. It was still kind of metalish, man. But I had been working on a song called Pulpwood, Arkansas in my head because I logged, and every day going to the log woods, man, I would you know, be making parts of it up, you know, and memorizing it. And man, I posted Pulpwood, Arkansas, and it's somewhere around 3,000 views now.
Yeah.
And within the first 3 days, it was over 1,200.
Yeah.
And I just stuck with the country after that. To be honest with you, man, I hated country music. You know, growing up.
Well, right. I can understand that. You know, again, things have changed so much because when I went to high school, I went to Bryant. You know.
Yeah.
And we hated people in Benton because they went to Benton. Not for any other reason. Didn't know them.
Rivalry.
Never met them. We just hated their guts because they were from Benton, right?
Rivalry.
And you know, now my kids today, fast forward, they have social media, so they know kids from every school. They don't hate anybody from the other school. They're all friends.
Yeah.
You know, so it no different with what you're talking about. I mean, you know, country back then. If you were a rocker, you didn't get down with country,
you didn't
right?
get down with it.
That wasn't how it went.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
And now country is what rock was in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, honestly, if you listen to a lot of country now, it sounds like 80s rock.
Oh, yeah.
Just with a little more twang at times.
Yeah.
Not always,
Yeah,
but a little bit.
or a beat.
Yeah,
You know.
but so now, you know, everybody can like everything for the most part.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
and so it's changed. But yeah, like you know, I started writing poetry. My mom was a writer, is a writer. And so my entire life, that's what my mom was doing. So she, you know, that's something that she was always been passionate about. So I started writing when I was probably 12, writing poetry, you know, and I got pretty good at it. I got acknowledged for it. I got published and did not make any money. You're not never going to make money on poetry unless you die. And that's the only way. And so, but that translated into other writing as life went. And now it's kind of a full circle because when I write a song, for me, it's like writing a poem. It is a
Yeah.
poem to me.
Oh, yeah.
It's exactly what it is. It's a poem.
You know, and there's some musicians out there that sing songs with hardly nothing that rhymes in it.
Yeah.
I don't see how they do it. It's so hard for me because my brain instantly looks down and is like, wait a minute, that's off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to me, you know, a lot of people don't equate math and music, but they're real close. They're very close together, and so the math has to math
Yeah,
for me in a
yeah,
song.
yeah, it does for
and
me.
Now I do play with it. Like I've got a song that, as a matter of fact, we played it earlier. That's called the Constant, and I did something different in it that I really liked, which is I rhymed 1, 2, and 4, but not 3.
Yeah.
Line 3 doesn't rhyme. 1, 2, and
Yes.
4 rhyme.
Yeah.
You know, and or I'll play with schemes like that, but it has to have a meter and it has to have a rhyme somewhere.
Yeah.
It has to have something that's close to rhyme for me, or I'm not. Now I don't like every line to rhyme because then it sounds
Yeah.
like a kid's song.
Yeah.
You know, it's a kid's bop then.
Yeah,
but,
it depends on how it really rolls.
right.
You know?
Yeah. Now when you're rapping, it's a little bit different. You
Yeah,
know, but
yeah.
the challenge of writing songs from somebody else's perspective or in another style is pretty fun.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. If you ever play with AI, you know, you take your lyrics and make every genre and see which one sounds. Sometimes you'll be shocked at, oh, man, that does sound great as a country song. I didn't even think I never would have thought about it like that.
Yeah.
You know, so it's fun to do that kind of stuff, man, and good for you that you're out there doing it though.
Yeah,
That's
man,
awesome.
that was the wildest thing. Like I said, whenever I recorded Popewood, Arkansas, is man, I'd have never thought in a million years I could do country music, but I'd also never heard myself talk either.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah,
I've got a really strong Southern accent.
Yeah. No.
and-
Do you?
Yeah, I maybe.
I wouldn't have noticed.
I've
I'm
been
glad
told.
you told me. I thought you were from New York.
But yeah, man, I would have never thought I could do country music, and here I am. I've got 13, 14 songs, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah, you're just out here living life, doing a good
Yeah,
thing, having
yeah.
fun.
yeah, I think the next step is to really round it off a little bit. Maybe get some video recordings that are good that I can share as reels and posts that are more like a music video than me just sitting on my couch
Yeah.
in the living
Yeah,
room. And then possibly getting it out there in the world.
Yeah, good production helps a lot, you know,
Yeah.
when you can, and making it entertaining visually as well as audibly is always good if you're able to do it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's,
definitely.
and that's a whole other thing there, making videos, because it's, man, you can do so many things with that, and you can spend an unlimited amount of money trying to make a cool video.
Yeah.
It's just like though, you know, being viral though. The thing is, I don't care what AI you use, it cannot tell you how to be viral properly.
Yeah.
Because trust me, I've tried to follow formulas to be viral. You know,
Yeah.
I've told people before, I got a video right now on TikTok that did 3.5 million views, and when it did, I thought, oh, I made it. It's it. I'm there, bitch.
Yeah.
See you later, buddy. I'm out of this bitch. Now everyone after that was like 900, 1,000. I was like, man, come on.
Let me get let me
You
get
know,
one more.
Yeah,
of those,
I've
you know?
rinsed and repeated. I've done this. I've done that. You know,
Yeah.
and so there's oftentimes no rhyme or reason. You see people who make a video in their kitchen with a shitty phone,
Right.
and shitty sound, and it goes viral. And then you see someone who clearly spent $5,000 to make a video, and nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
you
Right.
know?
Oh yeah.
So it's a toss up.
There's
It
no
is,
rhyme
man.
or reason to
is.
it, man.
Yeah.
And I try to pay attention to fad culture, you know, because everybody's,
Yeah.
you know, everybody nowadays, man, just clings to what's new now.
Yeah,
So,
the zeitgeist is what people often will refer to that as, and yeah, I try to tap into that when I write. You know, I like to use current language as much as possible and incorporate that into it. You know,
Yeah.
but I've been fucking with my kids for years. You know, since they've been probably 11 and 12, I started just messing with them to do it, and then it became fun for me. But is I would go learn whatever the most trending words for the coming year were, and I'd start using them, and they'd get pissed.
Yes.
Yeah, like what you did? What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
You
don't
know,
don't
that's
say
right.
no cap.
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
don't say
Yeah,
that.
no. I know they finally got used to it. You know, they know
Yeah.
when I say something. You know, but sometimes I would beat them to the punch, and that was the best thing.
Oh, yeah.
When you hit a word before they do, oh, that's the greatest.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
But my wife sometimes she'll tell me, you know, you're not 16, right? Oh, sorry, babe. I just, you know, it's a habit now. I get used to using words like that. And, you know, when I started saying dope AF back 5 years ago, and I was almost scared to write it on social media. Like, people are going to think, what is this dude saying dope for? You know, now everybody says it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
know.
Man, you know, you've got to keep up with the world, or it will leave you behind.
Yeah, you know, that is one thing, too, that I love about having kids the age I do, because my boys are, you know, 23 and 26. And so I'm perpetually connected to today.
Yeah.
You know, at least for the next few years.
Yeah.
Then we'll all be past it and it won't matter, you know.
Oh yeah.
But it's cool to be able to connect and see it the world through their eyes,
Yeah.
and hear how they communicate and things like that, because it is very different, man. It's so
Oh,
different than when we were kids. And I think we probably have beat this subject to death. But when I was 15, bro, all I wanted was to get my license and get the f- out.
Oh yeah.
I wanted out of that house.
All
I
day
wanted
long.
away from everybody.
Yep.
I just wanted to go live my life, do what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it. All of them were bad calls. But that's what I wanted. You know, I wanted independence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now it's so different because, you know, a lot of us wanted to leave because our home environments weren't that great.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine was a
You know-
phobia of adults. You know. Yeah. I wanted to get away from adults.
Yeah, well, I mean, you had a bad experience, you know, and understandably. And I wouldn't say all mine was bad, but there was plenty that was.
Yeah.
And I wanted the hell away from it.
Oh, yeah.
Now, my kids, you know, they grew up in a whole different environment, you know, a very safe, quote, space,
Yep.
you know, where parents care, they love you, they care about your feelings.
Yep.
Not all the time, but most of the time, you know. And so leaving, it's not a sense of urgency.
No.
There's no urgency to launch.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so while I think my kids are still way better off than I was at that age, like they're way better off. I was doing so many wrong things at 23 and 26. Trust me, so many wrong things that they're not doing.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, if they got dropped on an island, I'm scared they'd starve to death.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I love them. I just don't know if they could make it. You know, they probably eat the wrong thing and die.
The,
you know,
the street smarts and the common sense have just almost
evaporated.
Yeah.
And that happens because you're not running the streets.
Yeah.
You're not out there doing those things. You know, it's a different, and it was just different then.
Yeah.
And so we had to learn to survive.
Yeah. And
And,
what happens when you mess up?
Yeah, you know, we faced a lot of consequences, got that ass beat. Had
Right.
to learn to survive.
Yeah.
We'd get put outside all day long.
Oh, yeah.
To our own devices to go rummage through houses being built and steal lumber or build ramps or forts in the damn woods or,
Yeah.
you know, put spiders and scorpions in buckets and make them fight or whatever dumb shit we were doing,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, yeah.
Catch crawdad with bacon in the creek next to the house. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the kind of shit we were out doing, you know, standing next to a damn cottonmouth trying to fish out a crawdad.
Bicycle trips, 20
Oh,
miles down the road.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Going to get mom's cigarettes from the store.
Dude, they put them in a brown paper bag
Yep.
and sold them to you anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
My mom would send me with a note.
Yeah.
And that worked.
Yeah, it did.
Can you imagine showing up with a note now as a 12-year-old kid at the store? My mom said I could get cigarettes. Well, let me get your mom's number so I can call the cops.
All right. Yeah,
You
for
know,
real.
Like, what is she doing sending you up here, you little
Oh, yeah.
bastard?
Yeah, and then they're gonna lock the bomb up, you know.
Yeah, right. So life has evolved, and so there's this gap period where, you know, we're trying to figure out how do we evolve and be better humans and kinder, gentler parents, but at the same time raise kids who can survive and not recoil every time someone gives them a criticism.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, because we took a lot of damn criticism as kids. Like, I don't know if I ever did anything right as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, I try to remember if I did, but, you know, according to my parents, probably not.
Yeah, I was
You know what I
horrible.
mean? My kids, they were celebrated their whole life.
Yeah.
You know, so they don't know what it's like to not be celebrated. And that's where I fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, because now I got to celebrate them all the time.
You know, that was something that whenever I got with Jasmine and I realized I had teenage stepkids,
Yeah.
that I didn't realize that a safe home meant that you were very loved.
Yeah.
You know, like Kobe, you know, has his room, whatever, dude, it's decked out, video game system,
Yeah,
computer,
right,
game,
right.
you know, everything,
Yeah.
all the small comforts.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a safe place that he's always welcome. I never felt that way.
No, you know, you're right. That's a good point. That the homes were not safe spaces.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it was oftentimes the opposite.
Yeah.
You know, my parents, it seems like, and with lots of good reason, wanted us to operate with less. You know, so when I finally, I was probably 13, 14 when I got a TV in my room. It was like this big, and it was black and white, and it didn't get any cable.
Right.
Okay, it was
Yes.
3 channels at best.
Yeah.
And that was it. I had a phonograph, a record player, in my room when I was probably 11, 12 that I got. I think my grandma may have given it to me, and I didn't have money for records, so I just listened to whatever records my mom was willing to let me take, which weren't many. So I had like a shitty Elvis record that was already scratched. I had some classical albums, and that was really, I mean, I was listening to stuff like that because it's all I could listen to.
Yeah.
You know,
But were you happy with it?
yeah. I mean,
I mean, that's what it
as
all
happy
comes
as I
down
could
to.
be,
Like, yeah.
yeah. But you know, now to your point, you know, my kids grew up with MP3 players,
Right.
and computers, and video games,
No
and
judgment on the
TVs.
music.
Yeah, no, different. All
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. No, you're exactly right with that. Listen, my mom, certain things she didn't want to hear.
Yeah.
You know, I remember trying to play Motley Crue for her, and as soon as I folded the album out, she nearly fell out. You know, it's got the pentagrams; they all look like bitches.
Yeah.
See,
you
mom,
know.
mom was into that. She's a big Aussie fan, big
Yeah, my mom was
80s
not.
music. But what the deal breaker was whenever I brought the Chronic 2001 into the house.
Oh yeah, see,
And
I could see that.
and then the Great Milenko ICP album
No.
was a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, that's a deal breaker for me. Worst band ever.
I was big time into bass back then.
Yeah, I
and
can
I would
see.
turn like the treble down.
Yeah.
And I would just have like the beat and you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, by the time I loved rap when I was a kid, but that rap I would call safe rap.
Yeah.
You know, even parents liked rap then because, you know, I mean,
MC Hammer had already
Beasties,
came out.
Will Smith,
Yeah.
that's the kind of stuff you were dealing with.
Yeah.
92, though, when the Chronic dropped, I was grown then. And when I tell you that I don't know how many copies of the Chronic I went through, I'm thankful that now it's digital because
Yeah.
I can listen to it anytime. But
Oh, yeah.
both that one and 2001 are staples. And they're terrible, by the way. If you listen to the Chronic, it's the most
man.
misogynistic, violent. It's like Scarface in
Yeah.
an album.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome, man. It's awesome, that West Coast flavor, man.
I remember that didn't come out of my CD player for a long time there in my bedroom. Then I moved up to Vehicle. About the time I was moving up to Vehicle, the Eminem show came out.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
It was in my CD player for 8 months.
Yeah, yeah, no.
That was another
Well, that's how it was, you know, and I'm still real bad about this. If I like a song, I'll listen to it on a loop damn near, you know, at times. By the way, speaking of new songs, I listened to the new Carter 6, Lil Wayne's new album,
Yeah.
if you're a Lil Wayne fan, and I saw that some critics have been really hard on it, but I'm going to tell you that I think it's a banger. And there's a handful of songs on it. There's almost no album I like every song, you know, very few. And there's a couple or three on there I didn't care for, but most of them I was like, this is a banger. But I think Lil Wayne's the GOAT anyway.
Yeah,
so,
me too.
Yeah, lyrically,
Yeah.
he's untouched by, and I don't say Eminem either because he's not. It's different.
It's
you know,
good, yeah.
if you know, you know.
Yeah, it's just different.
Yeah, no, and I'm not saying M's not great. He is. It's just I don't.
It's a different type of.
Well, Eminem was when I and what you're talking about, Marshall Mathers Eminem,
Yeah.
the old school Eminem,
Oh, yeah.
some shady, was fun.
Oh yeah.
His rap was fun, and people liked it.
Oh, yeah.
Like Kanye.
Or if you're-
old Kanye was fun.
Or if you're angry, you know,
Yeah,
teenage young adult man,
good little rage there.
Eminem would.
But now, I think in his newest thing, he went back to some of that. But for a long time, he hasn't been fun.
it was gone.
He's just been pissed off, and that's what his rap is, pissed off. And so I didn't enjoy it as much because I'm like, I'm not pissed off all the time anymore. You know, when I was full of testosterone at 15 and 16,
Yeah.
being pissed off's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
But when you're 50, it's like, yeah, I'm tired of being pissed off. I want to have a good time, you
Yeah.
know, and Eminem's not a good time to me
No,
anymore.
no.
Lil Wayne's a good time.
Yeah, he is.
Lil Wayne's a good time. Lil Wayne
Natasha
makes you
says
laugh.
Lil Wayne is okay, but definitely not a goat. I gotta agree with my new bestie on this one, man. I mean,
T-Mac.
she's good.
T-Mac, you're an amazing human being, and I think the world of you. That's wrong. So we'll help you, and I'll bring you some Lil Wayne that you need in your life.
Who's Papoose?
But yeah, Lil Wayne's definitely a goat. Dre is a goat. Snoop is a goat. M's a goat. There's a lot of goats out there, you know, to be honest with you. I don't know Papoose.
Yeah, I've never heard of that
T-Mac,
one.
but I will check it out.
Beastie Boys.
Papoose's Alphabetical Slaughter. Okay, I'll listen to that Alphabetical Slaughter. Sounds interesting.
Right?
You know, it does sound interesting. Brandon said Eminem's the GOAT. A lot of people say that. From a speed to clarity ratio, Eminem is the best. Speed to clarity. In other words, I can rap fast and you still understand it.
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes or Twista are way faster.
Oh, yeah.
But you can't understand it.
Yeah.
You can almost, even at as fast as he can enunciate clearly.
Right.
And his rhyme schemes are amazing. But Lil Wayne's wordplay,
Dude, yes, it's constantly bouncing back off itself.
just from a writing standpoint, from a writer's perspective.
I don't know.
there's no
Eminem has some. I mean, he's
No,
up there in the
he's-
wordplay
no,
department
he is
too.
great.
Like,
No, he's phenomenal. He is phenomenal.
It's a little more diminished.
I guess I just need to maybe listen to some more Lil Wayne. Or
like-
something.
It's very stylistic, though.
Yeah.
Eminem's a little more diminished. Lil Wayne's more nonchalant to me.
Yeah.
Like carefree off
The
the
other thing,
shoulder.
too,
That's it. I'm throwing it out there now. We need
Lil Wayne-
we'll need a Lil Wayne Eminem rap battle.
We could.
We just need it to happen.
that's an epic
Somebody
battle.
get it out there.
That's an
Yeah.
epic battle. I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
it's out there. No, Eminem's lyrics are genius, Brandon. They are. Yeah, I'm not taking away from his lyricism. It's amazing. You know, I mean, he is his own poet as well. To your point, you know, look, Lil Wayne doesn't write things down. He does it by memory only. If you look at the wordplay, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And so is him. I mean, I'm not saying he's not. I just like, from a style standpoint, from a fun, I want to have fun.
Yeah.
You know, and when I listen to Eminem, I just feel mad.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't feel fun. I mean, is it great? Yeah. Does it make me smile? No.
Yeah.
Unless it's old him. Much like Kanye. I loved Kanye up until, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. And then everything, for the most part, he's put out has sucked to me. You know, it's just not that great. Do I think he's great? Hell yeah. I think he just is off the deep end now.
Yeah.
You know, he's out there. He made too much money and got too untethered, and he hasn't found his way back to planet Earth. I don't know if he will.
Yeah.
You know.
So when you write, are you hearing music like melody, or are you writing to be for like words?
I write for words, but I write with meter.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. It has to have meter. So it's not music, it's math.
Yeah.
You know, so I write for the words, for the value of the words, and then tie it to the meter.
Yeah.
And so when I write, and I'm doing it different than you are. It's very different because I'll write it, I'll put it into the system that generates music, you know, and you create prompts for it. Like I might put modern pop metal with industrial influences and catchy hooks. You know, you can put that kind of stuff in there, and then it'll spit it out, and I'll hear it, and I'll go, that meter doesn't work. I need to pull this word out, because what I heard in my head wasn't quite working.
Quite matching
the
up.
mathematics, and then I'll refine it, and once I get to that, then I'm good, know.
Yeah.
But I'm writing a different way than you are. You're writing specifically to you,
Yeah.
so you can make the meter work no matter what.
Right.
I can't force that guy to sing on this meter. I can only give it the best meter I can and make it work with it. You know, does that make sense?
It'd be like me handing my lyrics that I have
Yes.
that with no
That's
melody,
right.
no nothing.
No,
and you-
nothing. Just dry to somebody else to
And-
do, and they're
yeah.
going to do it. Their interpretation may not be at all your interpretation or
probably
meter.
nothing, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
it'll
when
be
you-
reading words off of paper,
It's just a poem then, right?
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Man, what a great show it's been today.
Man, it has been.
It's been a really diverse and interesting show. Thank you, Mitchell, for coming in, man. I really do appreciate you so much. And don't forget, reach out to Mitchell if you're, hold that thing up one more time that you're trying to sell. And how much do you want for it, by the way?
Man, I would do 600 cash if you mentioned
Six bills.
Patrick and the people.
Hey, there you
Hey,
go. I like that.
that's a
There
good
you go,
deal.
man.
600 cash.
I've got it listed on Facebook though for 800.
Okay.
With 2 batteries, charger, basically everything it got
Okay.
needs to run this bad boy. And but yeah, I do. I'd take $200 off the top if they mention Patrick and the people.
Hey, that's all
Nice.
right.
There you go.
He's going to hold it up here for everybody to see.
We could take
Again.
payments on it. Can I finance it?
I don't think you can do the, what is that called? The affinity? What is it that everybody does now? The special pay?
Afterpay?
Afterpay
yeah.
or whatever.
Hey, man, maybe I can talk to my buddy.
ASAP, right?
Yeah,
ASAP
ASAP.
Rocky. He
yeah.
might buy it, yeah. Yeah, there it is.
Now,
right
that is
there.
sweet, though.
The X-Max. That's a bad bitch right there,
I
man.
want to see it.
I say I want that, but really, I'm sure I would destroy it in like 10 minutes, man. I'd crash it into a tree or something.
That's my fear of getting a good drone.
Right?
If
yeah.
I got a good drone, I'd wreck that some bitch, and I'd be so mad at myself.
I'd be like, well, there's $1,000 just done.
and-
Brandon
and
said-
it happens like that with drones.
Brandon said Eminem killed MGK, in my opinion. He did, but the truth is that what MGK did worked.
Yeah.
It brought him a lot of eyes and ears that weren't on him already. Now, I'm not
Yeah.
an MGK fan. I mean, he's good, I guess. I mean, I've never bumped his album. I've heard a few of his raps, and they were all right.
I've never listened to it.
But I know now that Megan Fox turned him out into something
Yeah.
else different.
Yeah,
and
totally
I don't like what I see now. He's a real nice lady now. You know what I mean?
Hey. the button. Hey.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that. So it's like Yellow Wolf. I know he's great, but he's like him.
Yeah.
He's kind of an M
Yeah.
style.
Right.
I mean, clearly he's very heavily influenced by that. Do you have any online type rappers that you get down to that maybe they're not played on the charts, but you see them online blowing up?
Man, I don't really.
No.
Who's that
There's
one
one called The Real Samson, and he had a few he's kind of a Canadian long-haired white dude, and he had a few good bangers for a minute. I haven't seen him in a long time, but he had some.
There was one there that I was listening to for a little while. He goes by Mercurials,
Okay.
and he really kind of does a few copy songs, or he like jump in. Whenever Oliver Anthony done Richmond, north of Richmond, he done a dub over it, where that it's got Oliver Anthony singing the hook, and
Oh,
then,
yeah.
and then Merkel's comes in. And,
Okay.
and he's like a chubby white dude from Canada.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's a chubby white dudes from places are big now.
dude always talking about
With
it.
Jelly Roll, I mean,
Yeah.
but post he's Ozempic to now, but
Yeah.
but he was chubby,
Yep. Yeah.
I like Post Malone a lot.
Yeah,
Like
He
he's
is good.
He's good.
He's top shelf to me. Now, musically, I love him, but I like him as a personality. I just think he's a vibe all to himself,
Yeah.
And he did it his own damn way, which
Yeah.
which is really
yeah.
the coolest.
They're saying Mercules.
Mercules,
is a
okay.
beast from Canada.
Okay, all right, yeah, I'll have to check him out.
Hey.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I've never heard of him, but I will check him out for sure. I love to hear new artists for sure.
I was going to say, I haven't heard of it. You were talking about, internet rappers and stuff.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of him lately coming out with anything, but I was trying to remember his name. Tom McDonald.
Tom McDonald,
Yeah,
he's
he's
real
killer.
big. He's real big. Yeah,
Yeah.
He's been out for a long time.
He has,
Yeah, he's been out for a while. I just don't know if he's
he-
done
he
anything
won't-
recently.
He doesn't get airplay, I think, because he's
Political. Very much, yeah.
politically
A lot of his
oriented.
lyrics are dark.
Yeah, they are, and political, and so people kind of,
He did a rap song with Ben Shapiro, though, so,
well, there you go.
maybe you should put him on his air.
Yeah. Some people would say Ben Shapiro's pretty right. I mean, Ben Shapiro's an interesting character for sure. Great debater.
Yeah.
For sure. He's a great debater. Ben
my
Shapiro.
cousin.
I'm sure you're Jewish, though half Jewish. So he's really only half your cousin, to be honest. Anyway, Tasha said you have great taste in rappers, and said, Patrick, we got to work on. Listen, I'm with the OG rap crew, so I came up on the Dre's and the Cubes and all that. So, I no shame in my game. I was listening to a band called the Fat Boys, okay? So look that. You want to see bad rap? Listen to the Fat Boys. We loved it then, but it's terrible. It's just absolute. Most all those songs from the early 80s are absolute trash. They are. They're just trash.
But the
now.
beatboxing, man, that's what it was all about.
That's what the Fat Boys were all
That's
about.
man. I know the
That's
Fat
all
Boys.
I tried to do was
Hey,
beatbox.
we probably could have made it in the 80s as rappers, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, in the '80s, hell yeah, I'd be a top tier rapper from
Top
the '80s.
tier, bro.
What are you talking about now? Yeah, if I could take today's knowledge, go back
yes.
to the '80s,
Oh,
I would
yeah.
destroy the
Destroy.
entire timeline. I would Michael J. Fox Back to the Future that shit and destroy them. They'd be
yeah.
like,
time
"You're a rap
space
god."
continuum.
Yeah, that's right, not Eminem, bitch. I'm the rap god now. All right, y'all, we got to get the hell out of here. Y'all have a great day. All right.
Later.